says there's been no change in the situation regarding the striker, but he still wants to see him play for Newcastle again. Isak won't be involved in Newcastle's game against, wouldn't you know it, Liverpool on Monday night.
My preference for these things is it doesn't happen publicly, because I think everything is better dealt with behind closed doors, but needs must, and in this situation the club has spoken, and probably justifiably so in that moment. He's contracted to us, he's our player. My wish is that he would be playing on Monday night with us, but he won't be, and that's regrettable at this moment. But he 100%, I want to see him back in a Newcastle shirt.
Are you having conversations with him, and how is your relationship with him despite all this that's going on?
Yeah, I haven't seen him this week, I don't think. I saw him last week. Yeah, when I see him, we speak as normal. There's no issues there between us. Of course, it's a difficult situation from both sides, and I can see it's far from ideal for both parties, and that includes Alex and us. But no, when we see each other, we're fine and we speak. But as I say, I haven't run into him this week.
So, Darragh, Eddie Howe has said he 100% wants to see Alexander Isak back in a Newcastle shirt. If you were to put a percentage on it, what is the likelihood of that happening?
It's the never-ending saga, isn't it? Look, Eddie has a class act. You see him there, he handles it. You can tell why he's a player's manager, why players love playing for him. What an England manager he would have been, by the way. But he's now in a position he didn't expect to be in after winning a cup and having a good season last year. So he needs this, one way or another to be resolved. And after this Liverpool game on Monday, I guess we're going to find out if that deal's not agreed by Tuesday, when it's done. And I think he's staying there. So I couldn't give you a percentage on it, because things change in football. If you were putting bets on this, you could lose your house, because you just don't know how it's going to go. I said yesterday, sell him, move on, go buy a couple of players and take the drama away from your dressing room. He, as a manager, doesn't deserve this.
It's classic that it's Liverpool up next, isn't it? You couldn't write it.
You couldn't write it. I agree. Jamie Carragher said something in one of his columns this morning about Liverpool need another plan B. And I agree with him there. We're short in attacking options. And if we've gone all in on this, hoping this happens, we could end up with egg on our faces if Newcastle end up keeping him and we don't have a plan B. And then one of our wide players gets injured, or one of our attacking players gets injured. We've already got two right backs injured. So as much as everyone's excited about Liverpool, the recruitment, the business they've done, I'm worried there that, we could end this window weaker in the attacking departments than we started the window.
We will definitely get into Liverpool shortly. Let's stay on Newcastle for a bit.
Sure.
Sky Sports have partnered with Fanalysis, an app where passionate fans known as Fanalists share their opinions on their club. We can now cross to Newcastle fanalist Paul Ditchburn. Good morning to you, Paul. Eddie Howe says he 100% wants to see Isak back in the Newcastle shirt. Do you think you will?
As I'm sitting here now, I can't see a way back for him. I've tried to think about this over the summer numerous times, and I just can't see how he reintegrates back into the side. With what's been said, the statement he released at the weekend, during the week, and then Newcastle's response. Eddie stays very diplomatic through it all, as he always has done. As you say, he's a class act. However, he faces a monumental task trying to get this all sorted out before, if he stays after the transfer window.
Paul, yesterday, and I said it again today, and whatever else, do you agree with me, as majority of Newcastle fans, sell him, get the most money, go buy Nicholas Jackson and one other striker, because you've already got some great wide attacking options. You're going to score goals in that team. So move past this and move past as quick as you can. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think it's dragged on for far too long. It's become a bit of a farce. Eddie Howe's press conference this morning, all he was asked was about Isak, not about the game on Monday, which is a huge game for Newcastle United as it is. So it's becoming very, very difficult. Look, we've got to be careful here and take a low ball offer for him. We've stuck by the 150 million valuation, and I think the club have been pretty hard on that all summer. But we do need to look beyond Alexander Isak now and think we don't have a striker there at the moment. Gordon's having to play there. He's not an out-and-out striker. It's a very, very difficult situation to be in. So yes, I would rather that he left. We got a couple of strikers in to do the job, and we rebuild after Alexander Isak. I just think the whole situation has blown way out of proportion now.
Paul, do you feel let down? Has Alexander Isak thrown his toys out of the pram here, or does he have a point? Was he made promises that have been broken?
I don't think we'll ever know what promises came from who, to be honest. I think whoever's promised him isn't at the club anymore. And if he was promised something, then why didn't he get it in writing? Surely this day and age, everything business-wise, you put in writing just so you can come back to it eventually. However, he didn't do that. Newcastle were pretty adamant in their statement during the week that nobody there has promised him anything. So for me, I believe the club over Isak. I have to say, he has badly let the club down, but he's badly let the fans down as well. The fans' reaction has been terrible towards him. He faces a real uphill task trying to get the fans back on side as well. So yes, he's badly let everybody down with his behaviour. It's just a real shame.
Dara, the day and age of gentlemen's agreements, have they gone out the window?
There's no such thing. And this, somebody made a promise. It's a he said, she said situation. We don't know the truth. So why doesn't he grow up here and come out and name the person? The reason he hasn't is because he'd get sued, because that person would deny that ever happened. So this is just a typical footballer wants out, wants his dream move. Now let's talk to the agent, come up with these different things, and let's create confusion around the situation. Like I said, I'm bored by the whole thing. I'm sure Newcastle fans are. I'm sure Eddie Howe doesn't want to sit in every press conference and talk about the same thing. He's got a squad that's in the Champions League. He wants to get on with it. He's a top-class manager. Newcastle and him really need... If I'm the manager, I'm saying, sell him. 150 we're not going to get. Get 120, 130. What's 20 million difference at this stage? Let me go get 2 other players and get on with our season.
The question then, Paul, is who do you get with that money? Who's top of your wish list?
Well, there's been a few top of my wish list over the summer, which hasn't come to fruition, unfortunately.
Which Liverpool managed to nab one of already, right?
Yeah. I mean, Ekitike was a fantastic option for us, but look, it hasn't happened. We have to look at who's available now, and you know, Strand Larsen's been mentioned a lot. I think I would prefer him over Nicholas Jackson, if I'm openly honest. I think Jackson, I haven't been that impressed with him, to be honest. I mean, his discipline has been terrible in the Premier League.
He's young.
We saw that firsthand last season. However, at this stage now, we need a striker. So if it was to be Jackson, I'd support him fully.
Eddie Howe turns Nicholas Jackson into a top-class player, in my opinion. And with the wide attacking options you have and that crowd behind him, you could turn that player into a 20-goal-a-season striker in the Premier League. So for me, if he's 60, 70 million and you're getting that much for Isak, take the deal.
Well, I think, you know, Eddie Howe has been renowned for bringing players on. There's no doubt about that. He's got a fantastic reputation for doing that. And that's what we always say up here. You know, when we're unsure about a player joining, we always look to the point of, well, look who he's going to be working for, and that's Eddie Howe.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's massive for us. And the way he's brought players on, changed the way some of them play, like Joe Linton, for instance.
Yep.
He brings them on.
Discipline issues.
Yes, I agree on that, son.
Yeah, he'll clean all of that up. So I don't know what they're waiting for. Chelsea want to sell him. There's a deal there to be done, and this cloud could lift very quickly. So I'm not quite understanding why it's getting dragged out. I get you don't want him playing against you on Monday night or your own player or being involved or whatever. But just,
I don't think he would, though. I don't think he would.
Wouldn't.
If he signed, he wouldn't play.
He's not fit probably to play. But I think the bottom line is this is just it's just a drama that everyone could do without. And like I said, it's getting a bit boring now.
What about, Paul? You mentioned Jurgen Strand Larsen, who, I mean, 60 million sounds like an awful lot of money, but the game's gone in terms of price tags for strikers these days. I don't think Wolves want to sell him, but what do you think about him as a player?
I wasn't sure at first, but then again, you look at his stats from last season. Wolves weren't great last year. They did get a little bit better as the season went on. He's big, he's bulky, he's strong. Somebody that could, you know, really ruffle the feathers of centre backs, which is what we need. Anthony Gordon at the moment, as good as he is of a footballer, he's not going to do that. He's not got the physicality. We need a bit of physicality in that penalty area, whether it be Larsen, whether it be Jackson. We have to have some kind of physicality, and we've just got nothing up front at the moment in that context.
And the irony, of course, as I said to Dara, that it's Liverpool up next as well. A bit of extra spice in that fixture now.
Yeah. I don't think it really needs any extra spice anyway. If you look at the historical results or games between us and Liverpool, they've always been fantastic occasions. It's under the lights, it's in James's Park. Yes, it does give an extra edge to the game without a shadow of a doubt. The crowd will be incredible. The atmosphere will be amazing, as it always is under the lights. It'll be a great spectacle for the Premier League, and I think that's what we need to concentrate on and forget about this Isak stuff and concentrate on what will be a fantastic football match between two excellent sides.
All right, well, here is how Manchester United have fared under Ruben Amorim in the Premier League, and the stats don't really paint a lovely picture. There you see 7 wins, 7 draws in 29 games, but it's the 15 losses that really put a damper on things. Plus, in those games, 33 goals and 44 allowed. Gentlemen, let's start. Shaka said it to me. Shaka literally said it to me. What a difference a week makes. We were talking about the improvements we saw in what was a loss against Arsenal. Fast forward to now. Does it feel like a step back, Ray?
Well, a couple of things. It was a really good 10 minutes, first 10, 15 from United, particularly from Cunha, but from United in general. And then Fulham figured them out and started to dominate the midfield and actually gave as good as they got, if not better, for the majority of the game. We just heard from the manager. I want to talk about the captain. I want to talk about that incident with the penalty kick, because I know Shaq's got strong feelings about this as well. What a whingy, whiny, little moaning pain in the butt. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment to a professional footballer that the referee inadvertently nudged him as he was trying to back off, having everybody in position, and yet he made out, and this, Shaq said this to me, he made out that the referee had almost run into him in the process of him running up to take the penalty. That's how
threw it off his routine.
That's how egregious he thought that was. It was. I was sitting watching it going, what a big kid. Any player worth his salt would have laughed that off and would have taken that penalty within 10 seconds. And yet he whined and moaned and cried, as he generally does, about something so innocuous, it was embarrassment. And that whole process just formulated in his little brain, and then he puts the penalty over. Which he may have done anyway, I don't know. But the process that led up to it, makes me just believe the mindset of Bruno Fernandes is so discombobulated it's embarrassing. Because to me, that isolated scenario in the game encapsulates a lot of his career at Man United, which has been good. A lot of it has been good, but there's been a sideshow to the Bruno Fernandes performances, and we saw it again there today. I thought it was embarrassing beyond belief.
So, but here's the thing, right? So there's a lot about this game that surely we have to discuss, but let's start here with Bruno Fernandes. And here's why old school players like ourselves continue to question Bruno Fernandes and his role as captain for Manchester United. That cost Manchester United 2 points today. No question, right? So during the game, watching here in the US, a lot of the commentary, a lot of the discussion was about whether that bump put him off, whether it should have put him off, whatnot. Immediately after the game, I see Bruno Fernandes does an interview and says, no, that didn't put me off. I reset, everything was fine, I just struck the ball really poorly. Later on, at some point, he does another interview and says, well, yeah, the referee bumped me. And then what really wound me up was he didn't apologize. Now as you look at the replay, it's the slightest of bumps. Look how much Bruno Fernandes, this is of his own doing, makes of this. Look at how long he stays standing, glaring at the referee. That's unwarranted. It's a bump. It's a bump. How is that an excuse for that execution in this game, in this physical a game? And that for me is why, again, Bruno Fernandes comes in for as much criticism as he does. Misses that penalty, doesn't track Smith Rowe for the Fulham goal. And again, we're talking about still Manchester United's most talented player, Manchester United's captain, but I think reneging on his role and responsibility as the on-the-park leader.
How does that put you off a routine? What's your routine? You put the ball in the spot. The keeper plays a game of bluff, as keepers do. You got to make a decision in your mind. Where am I putting the ball? Am I going down the middle? Am I hitting it with pace? Or am I going for accuracy? That's the routine. He made such a song and dance about it. It became the story of that moment. It just became the story. But I for one, thought it just gave you an insight into the mindset of him. And I thought it was beyond embarrassing. In fact, I thought it was almost childish at school playground kind of stuff. I think we also saw two sides to Cunha today. He was absolutely brilliant for 15 minutes. And then tell me something else he did before he put a great cross in the 89th minute or whenever it was. And that sort of is him in a nutshell. You know, he didn't get his goal and then he goes on the missing list because he's not a great person to do the donkey work defensively. And so he's a fantastic player, didn't get his goal today and then goes missing. And then you've got the pressure that has been put on the Man United midfield, which we've all talked about, as Fulham started to take the game by the scruff of the neck. United start to look a little flaky, or a lot flaky, in the middle of the park. That's another scenario that Ruben Amorim has to fix. And the absolutely glaring one, which I shouldn't have to tell anybody, is I'd love to read the scouting report on Altay. Because there has to have been a scouting report on this goalkeeper. And if somebody has said, very good at set pieces and good in crosses, then you're out of job. Have you ever seen an elite level goalkeeper, Shaq, at this level, on multiple games, look as if he is frightened to death whenever somebody swings the ball in under his crossbar? Which begs the question, by the way, from a Fulham's point of view, when they had it on the other side, why they didn't send out a Sessegnon or a Robinson to whip it in left-footed and send Lukic out to whip the ball away from the goalkeeper. Because whenever they put it in under his crossbar, as was the case last week and as was the case last year, he was absolutely all over the place. And you're not going to put a consistent run of results together with a goalkeeper like that in, because teams are just going to exploit it.
I'll start with the goalkeeper and finish with the striker or strikers. I'll say I don't understand it. A week ago against Arsenal, I said as much as he has to take responsibility for the Arsenal goal, I also questioned Ruben Amorim and how Manchester United set up to defend against Arsenal from a set piece. Arsenal did nothing new, nothing that we didn't see all of last season. How you go that unprepared to start the season in Arsenal's first game, set pieces was simply beyond me. Then coming into this one, he says he sticks with Bandier because it's for tactical reasons. He just looked at who we're playing against, and this is the right goalkeeper for me. So he leaves Onana on the bench. And at no point did Manchester United look comfortable from any set piece.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper didn't look comfortable. Manchester United had this odd zonal marking system that I have never been enamored with, and were exposed time and time again. I remember Muniz had one header far post, free header. I have no idea how he was that free. I have no idea how he missed. I would have scored that now. So Manchester United just continue to live on this knife edge in terms of set pieces, and it's simply beyond me. They continue to be linked with goalkeepers coming in before the end of the transfer window. Maybe that changes in terms of how they deal with set pieces. Maybe a part of Amorim's thinking is that I'm getting a new goalkeeper in, Onana is on his way out, so therefore let me just stick with at least who'll be here in the longer term. And then
you take Onana though.
I would take Onana, no question.
You would take Onana?
I'd take over
Bandier.
Absolutely.
But which club would take Onana now? If he's on his way out, who's going to take him?
Well, who would take him?
Yeah.
Well, that maybe he goes back to Italy where he had such success with Inter Milan. I don't think anybody in the Premier League takes him. Sorry, I'm misunderstanding what you were saying there. But let me...
You can't be that bad. You cannot continue with, and I'm not an Onana fan, you cannot continue with a goalkeeper who is so horrendous, and I'm not suggesting that the defensive structure is great, but he is so bad on those in-swingers, it's scary.
He has zero presence in goal.
Yeah.
He really does. Now, there's a lot you could say about Andre Onana, but at least he has a presence, at least he has a voice, at least you can see him shouting with the back four. No, he makes a lot of mistakes, and a lot of them are glaring, but this Bandier is by no means, by no measure, an upgrade on Onana. I would stick with Onana. But to your question, again, I don't think anybody in Premier League takes it. Maybe goes back out there. Now, to Craig's other point about Cunha, and yes, he started wonderfully well. Manchester United played the second half, Sydney finished the second half, with £200 million worth of strikers on the park.
Yeah.
I cannot think of Leno doing an awful lot for the second half. Made a couple of decent saves, which you'd expect from Bernd Leno. But there was 200 million of attacking talent on the park in Buemo, Cunha and Sesko came on 8 minutes into the second half. Now, as expensive an attacking three as that was, you have Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte as the midfielders, kind of the anchor between the back three, come back four, and that attacking three. I am desperate for somebody to tell me what Ugarte does. Don't even bother to tell me what he does well. Just tell me what he does. I'm not sure what he brings to this side. I really am not. And as a result, Bruno Fernandes has to drop further and further. Just spoke about him not tracking Smith Rowe and doesn't have the kind of creative impact as a result. So there's an imbalance to Manchester United, certainly in that midfield that I think for all their spending is just negated.
This is a fired up Shaka Hislop. I've not seen him speak so passionately about something since Jamal Musiala's
Well, you think about the game, right? Think about the engine room. The player to me watching this game that was on the ball dictating the most was Zander Berge. He always seemed to be on the ball. He always seemed to be driving forward. He always seemed to be making the challenge. And Sasa Lukic. And I think that is supposed to be the engine room for Man United. I think the front line will come good. I think the quicker he gets out of this, well, Sesko's only just in the door and gets him in the team, the better. Gets him in the team, gets him used to his teammates, gets Cunha in a better position and gets him some game time, I think the better. And why not just start that now? He had a few minutes against Arsenal, he had a bit more today, but I think the quicker he gets him in the side as this guy who's a young striker with a lot of talent, a lot of physicality, I think it'll be the better for Benjamin Sesko to get that game time. And why... If we start the next game and he's on the bench again, it would just be like a head scratcher. So there are areas of this United side, and look, the story around United at the start of the season is they're better. And in some sense you could make that argument. They do look a little better, but at the end of the day it's all about results. It's about results, it's about defending, it's about the basics, and they still have an issue with that. And it's about, we put that graphic up of Ruben Amorim's results, and until he changes that, that's going to be that sort of cloud that's the shadow over him, isn't it? Because his results have not been good, and they continue to. As much as you could talk about a performance against Arsenal and an early performance against Fulham, which, by the way, if you look back in the last few seasons, they've had their way with Fulham almost every time. Yeah. So Fulham have been a good club for them, and United have been a bad one for Fulham, and yet they weren't able to get that job done today. And you could say Marco Silva made better substitutions in the second half. The players he brought on had more of an effect, changed the way the game swang, and they did a good job. But United, I think, we're still sitting here thinking, right, how's it going to be? How far are they going to go? And are they going to be able to put a string of results together? And I still think there are big questions about how consistent they can be.
Well, there are big questions about the manager still as well, if this continues and how long he potentially could last. You heard from Ruben Amorim after the game.
Very early for
what did you make of what he had to say after the game?
What did he say? I can't remember.
From the soundbite that we just played?
Yeah, I wasn't really listening to it.
Well, he was saying that he doesn't... I'm glad that we do this.
Me too.
To be honest with you, I didn't hear what the question was, because the question was very muffled, so I didn't really hear what his answer was, to be fair.
He did overall say that he felt like they needed to grow up. He felt like that United went a little too defensive once they went 1-0 up.
Well, he made defensive substitutions as well. He brought Ugarte on. So he brought Harry Maguire on. Okay, that might have been for some set pieces and so forth. But, you know, his captain needs to grow up. For starters. He might be their best player, as Shaq said, and their best passer and their best set piece player and the guy who's going to assist and all, but he needs to grow up. But guess what? We've known that for quite a few seasons now. He spends a lot of time moaning and whinging at referees. And what we saw today, and there might be people sat at home saying, what's that got to do with the game? We've sat here and talked about Vinicius Junior for Real Madrid and how when he gets off his game head and into the argument with the referees and into the world's against me, you don't see him at his best. So are you telling me that when Bruno Fernandes is in this mindset, which is quite a lot, by the way, we're going to get the best, we're going to see the best out of Bruno Fernandes? I'll have that argument. And again, what he did today with that penalty, absolutely beggared belief. It beggared belief.
To that point, and what Amri had to say, again, as I was saying to me walking into the studio, a week is a long time in football. This time last week, Ruben Amorim was albeit in a loss to Arsenal, saying that Manchester United have shown that they could beat anybody in this league.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, a week later, they're second best to Fulham, who, to Craig's point, I think they've won their last 8 before today at Craven Cottage. So that speaks volumes to kind of how differently things have shaped up. And to that point, while it's maybe easier when you're trailing Arsenal to take chances, to be more adventurous, to attack a team like Arsenal. And Arsenal will let you play football because they fancy themselves in a head-to-head matchup. That's fine. You can look good in a 1-0 defeat against Arsenal in that way. Now when you go up against Fulham and you have to defend that lead, it shows a weakness of their mentality in terms of, no, let's go ahead and kill this game off. And again, it's terrible to compare this Manchester United with the teams that we played against. But you let the Manchester United of 20 years ago go ahead, you're going to get 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Not see a team kind of regress and play on the back foot and not quite sure, knowing what they are to do next. They in so many ways, I thought Manchester United got lucky. And before we move on, I have to say this. Listen, I am all for Bassey on Mount was a foul and a penalty. I thought that was the right call. Maybe some see it differently. But if Bassey on Mount was a foul and a penalty, Euro and Bassey, 2 hands in the back, that was a push. That goal should have been disallowed as well.
We were wondering if Xabi Alonso's changes, which included leaving Vinny Jr. on the bench for today's game, was a bit of a message that Real Madrid needed to pull up their socks after what was a lackluster performance last week. Even though they still got the win, they got a 3-0 win here today. Let's welcome in our boy Luis Garcia as well, who's joining us. But Craig, let me come to you first for this one, because again, you had your moments in this game where you were almost fighting sleep. It's not the Real Madrid performance you wanted. Usually it's Xhaka fighting sleep, but Craig said, "Ooh."
Well, I'm not sure that was the game or whether it was just me. It might have been a bit of both.
You had to go for multiple snacks to stay away.
Real, too much chocolate. Real Madrid deserved the win. Clinical in the second half, not flamboyant, not brilliant, but certainly good enough, as was touched on in commentary. Real Oviedo just limited, in terms of what they could offer, so had to do a lot of defending. Big story was Alexander-Arnold out, Vinicius Jr. out, Rodrigo in from the cold, the Antarctic almost, from where he was. What was that all about? And Vinny coming on, and Mbappe continuing the good start to the season, 3 goals now in the last 2 La Liga games. And Vinny coming on and having a bit of everything, having the dive, the assist, the goal, the anger, the sort of emotion, the frustration that, he was on the bench. And I think Xabi Alonso, when he goes home, will have a little smile about that and go, yeah, I got a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, it was Real Oviedo, it was 25 minutes, whatever it was, I can't remember, but I got a reaction. I didn't get a player who come on and sulked. I got a player who come on and made a difference, and I think that's what he was looking for. And before the game, we talked about the message that he may have been sending, and I think in some sense he got what he was looking for. If we can go back to the big talking point early on, was the challenge. Yeah. Some people see it from different scenarios. The one thing I would say in the Tchouaméni challenge on Dendoncker, it doesn't really matter now these days about how much you play of the ball. It's about the angle of your tackle. Now, it was more to stop the strikers at the time, who were coming with the back to goal, get the ball to feet. It was to stop the big centre-halves coming through the back of him. And so that sense, we can debate how much of the ball he played and how much he didn't, but he definitely came back through the back of Dendoncker. There's no doubt about that. And that, by the letter of the law now, is outdated and should have been a free kick. The one thing I would say on the other side of it, had it somehow been an Oviedo challenge on Tchouaméni there and they had scored, we know what that scenario would have been.
Oh yeah.
It would have been everybody else's fault. And the referee's a disgrace, and we know what happened last year. So in some sense, bearing in mind it was David and Goliath, I have some sympathy there. Decision went against them. Didn't really affect the match in general because Real Madrid deserved to win. But it was a talking point early on in the first half.
You say it didn't affect the match in general, but Oviedo, okay, they were second.
I wouldn't have thought it.
No question. But
It was a break.
But it was 1-0 to the 83rd minute. Oviedo, to their credit, newly promoted, defending well. 80 minutes gone, you one goal back. Now you have to take some chances and push forward, which maybe they wouldn't have if it were 0-0. And again, I am not disputing that Real Madrid were easily the better of the two teams, but you've got to sympathise with the minnows here. Oviedo coming back into La Liga against Real Madrid, defending as well as they had, and then when they decide to take chances, try to peg back that goal, which I'm with Craig, I think should not have been allowed to stand. That's when they get found out, and that's when Real Madrid make easy work of it. So I sympathise with Oviedo and still feel that had that not been given, and again, we could speculate all we want, Oviedo would have made a better fist of the closing 10 minutes.
Luis, let's come to you now because, again, as the guy said, deserving win for Real Madrid, but still it left us with needing answers for a lot of questions.
Yes, of course, because we saw a good Real Madrid. I think that the first 45 minutes show us a very dynamic Real Madrid with a lot of players moving in the center of the field, with a good speed on the ball, with the men on the wide areas trying to beat players, with Mbappe that never stood into the center of the field, trying to find their spaces, trying to make a mess and bury a lot of doubt into the defense. So it was very difficult to have an eye on him every single time. That's why he received in that great, fantastic position and made a fantastic goal. But it's true that in the second half we saw a totally different Real Madrid. I would like to think that it's because Real Madrid didn't have a break during this season, if that makes any sense. They went to the Club World Cup, then they have to stop for a couple of weeks to have a little bit of rest, but they start very quick into the La Liga. So right now the player is still not maybe 100% fresh, and they have a very low in the second half, because definitely I think with the Real Oviedo making a little bit more of the game, having more the ball, pressing a little bit high on the field, made a lot more difficult for Real Madrid. But we didn't see the same intensity of Real Madrid in the second half, so I will give that to Real Oviedo. I like what I saw from Real Madrid in the first 45. It was only one goal. The two other goals, they came with Real Oviedo open up and leave a lot more space behind. So you know that if you got Vinicius or Mbappe right there, you are going to be punished. And in the end, overall, a good result for Real Madrid. Of course, you need to continue fixing things. There is a new manager, new players. I think the life can change so much for a player, and I'm going to point today at Arda Güler that last year struggled so much to get minutes. In the last 3-4 games of the season, start playing in the center midfield, and right now is a key player for Xabi Alonso. So for all the players who normally don't get a lot of minutes, you never know what is going to happen when a new manager arrives. So I think a good 3 points for Real Madrid, and I'm sure that we are going to continue seeing better and better.
I know that it's pretty clear that, Luis, that Xabi Alonso was sending some sort of message to Vinicius Junior, because Rodrigo's not really going to play much at all. If he's at Real Madrid by the end of the transfer window, that's debatable. Even if he is, Vinicius is going to play. What's your reading of the other big decision today? Carvajal and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously, Alexander-Arnold played against Osasuna. Carvajal's fit again, and he got the nod today. What's your reading on that scenario?
Yes, I think it's another message that, of course, Alexander-Arnold is got a fantastic quality and abilities to have the ball and to look for fantastic passes. I thought that today would have been a very important player, because you know that you are going to be dominating the game. So having a player who can deliver good ball from the wide areas was going to be very important. Even his fantastic strike from long distance in teams that they are in a low block, I think that it suits a lot. But Xavi decided to give more minutes, and a lot of minutes to Carvajal. He knows that he's gonna need him. He needs to start giving. So he thought, okay, today we are gonna have a lot of the ball, so I can give a lot of minutes to Carvajal. We are not gonna struggle in good transitions, so Carvajal can have a very pleasant, we can call it this way, game. And it's minutes that Carvajal is gonna need from now until maybe in December, a lot of those, and in these kind of games it could be helpful. So I don't think that he's trying to make a big statement right there, but it was needed to give minutes to Carvajal.
Sounds like you've talked to Xabi Alonso and he's told you. that sounds like a manager's
explanation.
A manager's explanation to a big signing who has played one match and he's been dropped. That sounds like, listen, minutes. I need Danny Carvajal to get minutes. And you're fit, you're young, you're fit. He's in his 30s now, he was out for a year. I just need him. I'm not dropping you. I'm not even using the word drop.
Right.
But
saying that to Luis's point, when I first saw the lineup, that's kind of what I thought. I thought, listen, okay, kind of the stop-start nature to Real Madrid's off-season because of the Club World Cup. You're playing against a newly promoted team. Now is an opportunity to give some players some rest, maybe have a little bit of rotation. So I was reluctant to read too much into it.
I like to read a lot into
it. But to your point, but
I'm happy to read a lot.
To the point that you made, whether that was his intention or not, you got a reaction from Vinicius Jr. You absolutely got, when Vinicius Jr. is tracking back and pressing the ball and winning it and Real Madrid are scoring on a turnover, whether that was Xabi Alonso's intention at 2:30 this afternoon or whatever it was, he had the name to start the lineup, he got an absolute reaction out of it. Now we'll see whether he can get a similar reaction out of it.
But if you're Trent Alexander-Arnold, Shaq, you know, whether the managers, we've all had these explanations. We've all had them. Manager comes in, he tries to soften some sort of blow and he paints a picture. But it's only natural as a player. You go home and you sit in your apartment or your house, whatever, and you sit and you go,
did I get dropped?
Is he stringing me along or not?
Yeah.
And so it's a very difficult scenario for a manager because a player goes home and he thinks about it. Well, I didn't play great in match day one. It is a big move. There are still doubts about me defensively and how am I going to fit in and, you know, where am I sitting here in the whole scheme of things? And so, you know, for Alexander-Arnold, no matter what the manager said to him, I think he will go home and think, well, it's a new club for me. Already I've seen myself left out for a very good player. What does that mean? I think the Rodrigo and the Vinicius one is much more... It's much more simplistic. It is. Get your finger out because I know you are a game changer and you can do a lot for me, but I need you on board. And we saw a glimpse of that. I'm just sort of painting a picture here. That was sort of towards the bench area. You know what I mean? It was almost like, leave me out. Do it, you know? So, you know, he has got that in him. He is a very emotional young man. You know, we saw Rodrigo going off and he was showing his emotions as well. But when you are as talented and have won as much as Vinicius Jr. has and you are a game changer, but your standards have slipped below what they were, and there's no doubt about that. Last season he was, you know, a shadow of the player from the year before, the player who thought he was wronged in not winning the Ballon d'Or. And sometimes a manager feels that he needs to light some firework to get you going. And I think we saw a little bit of that today, and I think from Vinicius as well, that was a little thing to Xabi Alonso. I'm sure as a manager, he won't really bat an eyelid about it.
Well, Luis, you're the only one here that actually does know Xabi Alonso on a personal level. As a manager, seeing that reaction from Vini Jr. and what he did when he came on, how would he be reading into it?
You would like to see a player reaction, of course, when you try to make a statement and when you try to put a finger in something that you know that it hurts, that is the pride of a player. But I have to say something. I don't think that that symbol, that sign that Vinicius Jr. did, it wasn't to the bench. I think it was to the referee. I think the referee wanted to go to Vinicius Jr. to say, don't go to the fans and try to complicate things. And Vinicius Jr. turned around and say, just let me alone. Why are you coming here to tell me something? That's the thing, the way that I saw it when he was, because the referee is right there in the same direction, and because he had that yellow card, that's the way that I'm thinking. Mbappe put the hands in the mouth because he didn't want to get him in trouble with another yellow card. So it's true that this is gonna bring a lot of controversy, a lot of headlines. But in my opinion, I think that what Vinicius did, he was just complain to the referee to tell him, let me alone because I'm enjoying right now.
Don't spoil a good story. Luis,
we were trying to add some little sal y pimienta to it.
No. Right, all right. It might have been the referee, and it may not have been Chadwick. Can we all agree he was angry?
He was angry.
Right.
He was at least bothered.
And
yeah.
and look,
it's normal.
I don't care if it's the referee and I think actually on reflection, Luis is probably correct because he was frustrated from that booking. The angle wasn't really clear. I couldn't see the referee in the shot. But my point being is, even after 15-20 minutes of being on the field, he still had that, whether it's the referee or the bench or an opponent or an assistant referee, he's got that sort of anger in him, hasn't he? He's got that. And as a player, when you get the best out of Vinicius Junior, and we've seen it on many occasions, is when that anger boils over and continues into a game where he starts. You very rarely see the best of him. When he can control it and he sort of harnesses that frustration in a good way and it doesn't boil over, that's when he's at his best. But whenever it gets, I say, too emotional, which we have seen, particularly in some of the classicals, when he gets too involved, he thinks every decision's against him, he thinks everything's just not going his way, that's when the opponent has him. That's when the Ronald Araujo's were playing him very well. That's when they had him. When his emotions sort of boiled over and it took him away from his sort of game head. The interesting thing this year will be whether he can get that game head back on and form this sort of relationship with Mbappe or whoever it is, because if they do that, then they could be a force certainly going forward. But again, it's down to the player and what he can do. But he was excellent when he came on today, and that's what the manager wanted.
Well, you know what Luis Garcia wants? He wants to chill and unwind with a nice glass of Spanish wine, Luis.
Does he ever finish a show?
Does he ever? It's late in Madrid. He wants to go and unwind. He's living in the future.
Listen. Nobody wants to go and unwind more than me.
ESPN FC Live reaction to Fulham against Manchester United. Kay Murray and Janusz Mihajlik here with you for That's Been a While, my friend Janusz. Both teams here looking for their first wins of the season. It wouldn't come for either of them. It finished 1-1. And Janusz, I want to start with Manchester United, because if last week we were talking about this defeat to Arsenal being a loss with positives, what would we summarise this game as for United?
It almost felt like last season, right? Yes, I look at Manchester United even last season. Against the big teams they've done well. It's against the smaller teams they didn't compete. And apart from the quick start today, where I thought they're going to continue what they've done against Arsenal, which is a lot of good organization, almost a little bit of a blueprint of how maybe Manchester United is going to play today. The first 10 minutes, Cunha with two great chances that he's got to put away. But then again, after that, remember, they conceded on the corner against Arsenal. Here, three almost identical corners that Manchester United couldn't figure it out with Bassi, Rodrigo Muniz having a chance, Andersen as well. So very, very disappointing, really. I know it's early. I know the expectations are higher, maybe because of that first game, but let's not forget, they still lost to Arsenal in that first game, only 1 point here. And you know how I feel about Premier League, Kay. Contrary to popular opinion, for me, this is a sprint. It's not a marathon. Look where they are right now. 1 point. Everybody is running away in terms of the big teams. I even look at Spurs, who were just as big a mess as Manchester United. They were next to each other last season. Look at them, 6 points, right? So very, very disappointing today. Almost felt like this is the third game that Manchester United would have lost last season. They weren't far away from it.
Let's go through a few of the key moments, starting with the ongoing VAR check that was happening in the first half while the teams were still playing, which led to a Manchester United penalty for Calvin Bassey throwing down Mason Mount. First of all, was it a penalty for you?
100% penalty. I don't even know what a discussion is. I mean, how much more is it going to take, right? I mean, even a hold like this, if you were just to hold him, but, throw him down with, wrestling style for sure. I was looking at Luke Shaw against Rodrigo Muniz, and that to me, as a player, I'm bypassing the laws of the game. I know I shouldn't, but, if I look at that, I'd say, that was a haul. But then I look at Muniz, who dove head first, really. And to me, anyway, 100% penalty and the right decision.
And then came the penalty, and Bruno Fernandes, who's usually surefire from the spot, skies his penalty. I want to get your take on this, because when we actually looked back and saw the replays, when he's stepping back and setting himself up to take it, he bashes into the referee, and it seems to really throw him off. Did it throw him off his penalty?
Maybe. I mean, he missed it in a spectacular fashion. This is Bruno Fernandes, their best player, one of the best players in the world. It shouldn't in that fashion. But, when I watched the rest of the game, maybe it has, because he was definitely not the same player after that. And I could go on and talk about other players who disappointed, right? Manchester United obviously strengthened themselves. But I think great players get past that, right? So I don't know. If that did, it doesn't bode well about Bruno Fernandes. I don't buy into that.
I'll definitely revisit those players that disappointed you in a moment, but I do want to get to the opening goal. Lenny Yoro, although goes down as an own goal because it comes off the back of Rodrigo Muniz. It's the first United goal of the Premier League season for Manchester United. Should the opener have stood though?
No. Absolutely not. It's a push. There'll be many, that will say, well, you got to be stronger and all this. If it's a body-to-body contest, right, and there's a little bit of push, right, you're both jumping for it, then I would say, no, you got to be strong enough. But here, when you have two arms straight and the ball is in the vicinity and Bass is certainly good in the air, big man, probably, obviously not seeing what's behind, to me, that's not a goal, that's a foul.
Okay, and do you think that you can link the two situations as well, and Fulham can feel hard done by, given the fact that a penalty was given against them, and then we see here this being a goal for Manchester United?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the way I saw it, right, those are two different situations, in my opinion, right? I mean, guilty on one side, and, if you look at Bassi, 100%, but I don't know if I link those, because, you have to judge these situations separately and not look at it, maybe the same player involved, and look what happened there, and he didn't get it back. So, getting into minutiae of that, I treat them separately. And for me, first, a clear penalty, right decision from the referee and the VAR team. Second one, a goal scored, which shouldn't be allowed. If VAR looks at that and looks at the laws of the game, I'm not sure how they made that decision. Clear foul.
Meanwhile, Janis, when it comes to Fulham's equaliser, talk about an instant impact from Emil Smith-Rowe. I think it was his first touch, 93 seconds after coming on.
Yeah, I mean, a good cross defensively, because, we're going to get to players. Overall, that's not going to change my mind, but a little bit disappointed with the Ligt, who's been much, much better, something that was promised, and, it took him a while to get there. So far in these two games, of course. I think in the first one, if I look, he could have stepped up, to cut the cross out. Maybe I think it was in front of Jimenez, if memory serves right. And then Luke Shaw, who again, such a bonus after missing so much time. I like his experience. I like the way he's played in the first game against Arsenal. Obviously fell asleep there, and Smith-Rowe puts it away. So if you look at the substitutions anyway, Fulham subs made a difference, much more so than the substitution that Manchester United made.
So let's get into some of the players that disappointed you most today, because you did allude to it a little earlier on.
Well, I mean, the three key players that really disappointed me, right? You have to look at Mateus Cunha, because he didn't put away. I mean, he started very well. He had two very good chances, right? Hit the post. And especially, I think that second one, it was a route one type of situation. Bayendir with that long ball. Cunha's first touch, spectacular. Bernd Leno, who's been so good for Fulham, obviously has a great save. But I think out of the two, he's got to put one, if not both, away. Because after that, we didn't see much of Mateus Cunha at all. And Bomo, another one, who basically, I didn't know he was in the game at all. If it wasn't for that cross for the goal, That was allowed, by the way, because I think it was Bournemouth who delivered the corner. But other than that, very, very disappointing. And Bruno Fernandes, because that was a quiet game. Forget the penalty, forget his reaction, if you like it or not. It happens to players, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. But I think just in general, Bruno Fernandes had a very, very, very quiet game.
Okay, so let's take a look at what's coming up for Manchester United now. They're in EFL Cup action against Grimsby. Then it comes to the Premier League games that follow. So they're at home against Burnley. That is then followed by the Manchester Derby against Man City away from home. And then they host Chelsea at Old Trafford. What are you looking for in these coming games from them? I mean, that game against Burnley is a must-win, isn't it, going into those games that follow, and especially now that they've only got a point from the first two?
It is. I mean, look, going from the first game where we sort of saw maybe what was promised to us by Amorim, right? His first game, his first full season, right? I mean, obviously got a couple players on board, key players that I think will be fine. I've mentioned Cunha and Bomo. But I look at Manchester United and I'm thinking, look, great game against Arsenal, but another loss at Old Trafford, which has been, if you look at last season, I mean, just imagine how the aura of Manchester United might have quickly changed if they were to beat Arsenal, because they deserved it. They deserved 3 points in that game. They didn't get it. Here's a disappointing draw right now. So just 1 point. And then, if pressure comes in, even if they beat Burnley, but don't do well against Manchester City and Chelsea, I think, we're talking about same Manchester United that's just not winning. I don't care how much we like Amorim. I don't care how much we think that if given time, he's going to deliver. The bottom line, since he's come over, they've won only 15 games out of 29, 30 games? I think it's 29 games, 15 Premier League games out of 29. So there are worries. He still needs pieces. And of course, we haven't even mentioned Bayendir, who again looked very, very iffy with Onana. I mean, they must get a goalkeeper before the deadline. Absolutely, because otherwise we're going to have this narrative, unless somehow Onana becomes one of the greatest goalkeepers, which I don't believe he will. Who knows if he's still going to be here. I think the spine is sort of looking a little bit better. I've mentioned De Ligt. Bruno Fernandes is still a wonderful player. I still think, with Cunha and Bomo, they are much better in that front line. Casemiro's not going to do it in the center of the pitch, but a goalkeeper and a perhaps holding midfielder. But they have to address the goalkeeper situation and put it to bed. I mean, this is, what do you think? 10, 15 points a season. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, obviously they're in talks with the Royal Antwerp keeper, Saint-Lemain. Obviously, it's a big call from Amorim, as you said. Altay keeping his place today over Onana. Lots to think about for Amorim going forward. Just to finish, we're a couple of games in now, Yanis, so I'll let you revisit this subject if you've been asked already. We were asked on ESPN FC where we would have Manchester United finishing this season. Will it be a top 6 finish for them? Will it be a top 10 finish for them? Where have you got them right now?
I think right now, looking at this is top 10, because I look at it simply 1 point out of possible 6. That's not a good start by any means, the way they play against Arsenal, because they got to get the points there, right? Yes. They didn't. And here, a big disappointment. So, I mean, we're not talking about top 4. That's not going to happen. Top 6, 7, if they turn this around immediately, possibly, but top 10 at best.
Okay, tough run ahead for Manchester United, but first off it is Burnley. Yanis, great to catch up with you, and of course this game finished. Fulham 1-1 against Manchester United.
Grainger knows that if you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, you go to great lengths, and sometimes heights, to ensure the power is always flowing. Which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, 2-0 then to Spurs. This is 2 wins out of 2 of Frank, as we welcome in our very own Frank. Frank LeBoeuf joins us. Just a reminder, ESPN FC is presented by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Stevie, what the heck was that from City?
It was the City of last year.
But they're not supposed to be the city of last year.
So everybody, with this propaganda we've been getting that this city's... Well, that's all it's been.
It's been Naden. Blame Naden.
Well, Naden's been the head of it.
Yes.
And you and I won't take all the credit, you and I told them that they've done absolutely nothing to change the back line. And we saw it today. I mean, when they're not scoring goals, then they are going to be losing games because they don't look as though they know how to keep a clean sheet. And Spurs were really impressive the way they went about it. It was from a solid base because they know that defensively they can be got at. And so they had a real solid back line, solid midfield, and waited for their opportunities. And that's what they did all game. They just broke, and every time they broke, they looked dangerous. And then, of course, you got Trafford making those types of mistakes. Then they basically handed the game to Spurs. At the same time, there was no reaction from Manchester City. I thought second half, right, here we go. The crowd's going to get into it. They're going to be pushing. They're going to be creating chances. They never created anything. I mean, Mamouche had a chance in the first half at 0-0 that might have changed the course of the game. Didn't take it, and then he disappeared. Alan wasn't in the game either. Cherky, I mean, I don't know. Coming off the bench previously in pre-season and then last week, he looked the part. Today he gets a start and he absolutely did nothing. So this was a great win for Spurs, a deserved win for Spurs, and Man City haven't changed a jot.
Frank?
Yeah, I totally agree with Stevie. I found Tottenham very good and deserving the win. I found Van de Ven and Romero absolutely with a great performance and doing what they had to do and being very strong. I found the front line with especially Richarlison and Kudus, working hard, tracking back. As soon as they lost the ball, try to get the ball immediately after that. And they deserve to win. But for Manchester City, as Stevie said, they didn't change anything. And I'm upset about the second goal. Yes, Trafford made a mistake of giving the ball, but what about Nico? Why Nico wants to give Gonzalez? Why he asks for the ball? And you can see that again when he really asks for the ball, when he has two guys behind him and forces the goalkeeper to give him the ball. Yeah, okay, the goalkeeper has a choice and free will to decide whether he's going to give the ball or not, but it's forced by Nico Gonzalez. I don't get it. I don't understand if it's Guardiola asking that. And now we have to talk about Pep Guardiola. I already said, like Stevie, that I put Manchester City fourth in the league at the end of the season because I don't see why they will finish before that. Because they didn't change anything in the middle of the park, at the back, the way Pep Guardiola wants his players to play, it doesn't change. That football is over, and you have to change. Having the possession doesn't mean you're going to win the game, and it's been proven for almost a year now, even more.
I would say that, to Stevie's point, that this is Manchester City of last year. It's not only the defending part, and Frank just mentioned the possession there. The possession of the ball by Manchester City is really poor. By their standards, they're losing the ball in bad areas all the time. Misplaying passes, easy passes, passes that you come to expect Manchester City to complete regularly, consistently, and that's not happening. So it's not just the defending part that it's already bad. In the best of circumstances, when Manchester City were dominating the possession of the ball, if they happened to lose it, they were always exposed to counterattack opportunities because of the way that they set up and the way they try to play. But now, you still have the same issues defensively, and you add to that the fact that your possession is not nearly as good as it used to be. So more often than not, you're losing the ball in bad areas. More often than not, teams are attacking you and exposing how vulnerable you can be in transition. Beyond that,
they don't trust each other, do they?
No, absolutely not. And that is it's amazing how connected we are, Stevie. That's exactly where I was going next. You don't see when I give you the ball, I don't know what you're going to do. And I don't trust that you're going to keep it. And so I don't take the next position that I'm supposed to take in order to make myself available to you. That happens with the ball. Without the ball, it's even more troubling because when I go and press you, that guy doesn't think that I'm going to get to you. And so therefore, he's not coming behind me. So as I come and press you, and there's not a second line of pressure, you just played right through me, and everybody's running the opposite way, and Manchester City are struggling. And this is not new, to the point that Stevie and Frank were both making. This is not new. It's going back to the middle of last season.
So did we get too excited last week because it was Wolves?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So what has Spurs done differently in these two games than we saw from Postecoglou last season? What has impressed you?
Where do you want me to start? You know, do you know what Frank's done? He's put even more pressure on Amorim.
Right.
You know, Amorim, albeit had half a season.
How did we get onto Manchester United?
Well, because
the bias.
Because
oh no,
Frank has been at Tottenham for 2 seconds. And you 100% can see exactly what Spurs are all about. And not only the way they're trying to play, but the actual culture that they have. That you can see it in them all. They're all quite happy to be nice and solid and be patient. And then when they get it, then they open up and then they play. And that he's done that in such a short space of time that now, particularly Amorim, can't turn around anymore and say, well, I haven't had enough time, or I haven't been able to train, or I haven't been able to do this.
Right.
So Thomas Frank 100% has got a way of playing and a culture at that club already in a short space of time. So whether it's Amorim or anybody else, they can't use that excuse anymore, because Frank has shown you how to do it.
Frank?
Yeah, first I want to say that every time Stevie says Frank, you know, I think he talks about me. But I don't know.
He says nice things, take it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But what I wanted to say, do we have to get carried away, you know, by the 2 games of Spurs when we have all said, when Postecoglou signed that he changed the game, he changed Spurs, that I was much better, and Spurs will go very well very soon. Nothing happened, and Postecoglou has been changed, but I want to believe that what Thomas Frank is doing, it's absolutely fantastic, and I like, because that's more than the tactic, it's more the mentality of the players. What I felt today, which has changed dramatically, where everybody's concerned about the others. Ali was talking about the fact that Manchester City, they don't trust each other. You can feel that everybody at Tottenham knows exactly what to do according to what the teammate is proposing, is offering. And that's what I like. The 4 at the back, Porro, Spence, Romero, Van de Ven, they know what they have to do. And with the work that they do in the middle of the park and the commitment of the people at front, it makes a very complete squad team, and if they carry on like that, well, they're going to surprise many teams, because even Richarlison, which I think is not a right striker, but the way he's involved in all movement, defensively and of course offensively, really impressed me today.
Can I just say though that I don't think we're getting carried away with Spurs.
Okay.
Because the way they're going about it and the way Thomas Frank has got them going, unlike Postecoglou, the way they're playing is absolutely sustainable for the whole season.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's simple, it's not complicated, it's basic.
It's like a haircut.
But it's done correct. But it's done at a high level. Oh, wow. And so that's what makes it sustainable.
It is a high level.
Aye.
And tight. And tight.
Bits about disappearing, but so that's why it's not crazy to get carried away, because they can do this all season.
Did you know people are 90% more likely to eat breakfast when they're with their crew? And at Wendy's, you can all have 2 of your select faves for just $3. Everyone gets what they want.
Arteta's campaign. Go on then, Steve. Big takeaways from this.
Gyökeres.
Yeah.
And the 2 injuries.
Okay.
You know.
Let's go positive for Gyökeres.
Yeah, Gyökeres. I mean, this is huge for Gyökeres personally, because all the questions, the price tag.
Yes.
Just every single thing that goes along with it. The unfair criticism we got last week. Well, I thought it was ridiculous that people were pulling him out when Arsenal as a team did nothing to help this guy. He was on his own.
Have you been researching dental implants?
And then to the Monday night football, it's a huge game that's already got plenty of extra spice. Newcastle against Liverpool at St James's Park. One person who, of course, won't be playing is Alexander Isak, the transfer saga of the summer. Liverpool have had one bid turned down. He's adamant that he won't play for Newcastle again, accusing them of breaking promises. Newcastle have denied any commitment that he could leave the club this summer. Well, Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans known as Fanlists share their opinions on the club. If you want to represent your club, you can scan the QR code here or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. And that is exactly what Chris Curry, the Newcastle supporter, and Liverpool fan Connor Ray have done. Good morning to both of you. Chris, we'll come to you first. I mean, Liverpool-Newcastle is a great fixture, under the lights too. It was a cracking game at St James's last season, but tonight, plenty more added spice.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Great to be on and talk to you about this game. As you say, it's probably the biggest, this game, one of the best fixtures in Premier League history. I think some of the best games League's ever seen has been in this fixture. Obviously, there's a little bit extra spice in it with everything that's gone on in the summer. And it is easy for the thought process of one player that isn't going to play for either club to overshadow the game. But I think the game itself will be a huge spectacle. I think the crowd at St James's Park, we've had some massive games over the last couple of years, certainly under Eddie Howe in this takeover, where the atmosphere has been electric. You think of PSG, Arsenal. I can see it being even louder tonight, and every single fan in there will be supporting the players who want to wear that shirt and not players who don't want to wear that shirt.
Connor, does it make it a tougher game for you, everything that's going on, do you think?
Yeah, undoubtedly. I think Newcastle and St James's Park, as Chris mentions there, it's always a difficult place to go. And if, like ourselves, if there's one fan base that doesn't need any encouragement to get fired up and to make it even harder to go to their own ground, then it's Newcastle fans. So yeah, I think it's absolutely bound to be a difficult test. But champions have got to do what champions do and try and deal with that pressure. Maybe try and silence the crowd early on and take it from there. Try and stay in control of the game. We saw in the World Cup final last season how that didn't happen when Newcastle players and fans were arguably more up for it than Liverpool were, and what the result of that can be. So I think it's important we don't let that happen tonight.
Chris, if Alexander Isak stays, do you want him back in the matchday squad, or are you in the camp of just allowing him just to rot and not play? Because my opinion is, if he's still part of the football club and the window shuts, I think he'll be back in the matchday squad and playing for Newcastle again. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I'll try not to get splinters answering this question, Charlie, to be honest. But there's two ways to look at it. There's the emotional response and the logical response. The emotional response is, as a Newcastle fan, you're outraged at the behaviour and the statements and all of the refusal to play for the club and everything else. But the logical side of you as a fan says you've got the third best centre forward on the planet in your squad, and if he is still here when the window shuts, you would be crazy not to integrate him back into the squad. I mean, Eddie Howe spoke very well, as he always does, and I would trust Eddie Howe's judgment on the player. If Eddie Howe thinks for 1 second there's a slight chance that he hasn't got the mentality to come back in this squad and give his all. I don't think Eddie Howe would want him anywhere near the squad, and I think he'd already be a Liverpool player now if that was the case, regardless of the replacements coming in. But Eddie seems to have faith that it can change, and the noises have slightly changed a little bit going into this last week of the transfer window. I think Liverpool will come back with a bid, but I'm not sure there's going to be enough to get the deal done.
And Connor, just on that one, Liverpool have obviously only bid once for him, yeah? How I look at it now, if they really wanted him, they obviously do, and it's going to be important, they're obviously waiting, but they've gone, Newcastle have gone, it's 150 million. How I look at it at the moment is, yes, if Liverpool can get him in, it'd be fantastic, but I've been a bit surprised with how well Ekitike's done. He's led the line for Liverpool, superb. I mean, is that in a thought process of, do we now need two? Do we need both? Because 150 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money, and it's, it'd be certainly looking at the deals that Liverpool have done in the last couple of years, it'd be sort of unheard of for us to go and spend that kind of money on a player as well. So it needs to be right. It needs to be the right deal for all involved, and of course it has to meet what Newcastle want as well. I think Ekitike coming in and doing so well is a really interesting one. I think we all knew we were getting a top player, and I think from Liverpool's side, and I trying to stay well away from Chris's kind of, as he said, the splintered opinion on it and the emotional side of it. Because I think from a Liverpool side, it's a really interesting one. You're looking at it and going, yeah, we wanted Isak first. Yes, he's obviously one of the top forwards in Europe at the moment. Failing that, we went and got Ekitike, who's also in that bracket, but certainly a bit more up and coming, but one of the top forwards at the moment, and he's proven that as well. Would it be nice to have them both? Yeah, I think both. There was a point in the window where probably both Chris and I would have said the same thing when I think the noise coming out of Newcastle were potentially to have them playing together. The thought of having them playing together at Liverpool is certainly enticing. But yeah, 150 million is a lot of money, and whether we're willing to pay that or not, my instinct is that if we do go back in with a bid, it might settle somewhere in the middle, and we'll find some middle ground there. 150 million is probably a fair valuation, but then with everything that's gone on, would Newcastle accept something a little bit lower than that? I guess we'd have to wait and see.
What do you reckon, Chris? You're chief exec for the week. Would you be happy to settle somewhere in the middle, or is it 150 million, or thanks for coming, we'll have another chat in January?
Yeah, I think it's all dependent on who we bring in. If anybody really to replace the player, I mean, everyone knows we've been looking at Wissa as a target whose actions, don't condone either. I think that's been pretty offside as well, really, the way he's treated Brentford during this window. But going back to the situation, Newcastle need two, I think, capable centre forwards of scoring, 10 to 15 goals in the Premier League each season before they even consider taking another bid for Isak. I'm kind of with Connor. I think somewhere between 130 to 150 would probably get it done, but it would be dependent on Newcastle having both those players in. And when you hear Eddie Howe talk, he's only talking about one player, and that's the Callum Wilson replacement, not the Alexander Isak replacement. I think we missed out on those targets, sadly, this window. And I think we missed the reason why, and that's probably stopped the deal from happening.
And it all comes down to timing. Like how long, if do they allow it to drag on through the week, and how close it gets to Monday, then allow him to go, because Liverpool and Newcastle have agreed a fee for 130 to 150 million. They got to be quick domino effect to bring in the replacements. And again, Jan Wissa was the replacement to Callum Wilson. So how many you let Alexander Isak go, who Chris has just said, and rightly so, he's the third best, in the top 3 strikers in the world at the moment. Like, what in the country? Like, where are we going with it?
Well, I want to come to you on the conduct of the players from a former player's perspective. We were talking a little bit about it in the break, and Chris touched on it there, that it's not just Isak who's behaved like this. Johan Wissa is similar. Are you getting a steer from an agent or an advisor saying you've got to really throw your toys out here to push this along, because we think we can get you out of here if you make it really difficult for the club? Because people like Chris and Connor and everyone watching at home pays their money for a ticket, and they're now seeing players for the teams they support say, I'm not playing because I'm not getting my own way.
Comes down to what you're being advised, obviously, for your agent, how you actually feel. And was he told down at the start of the year that was promised that he could leave?
Which Newcastle are saying it was not the case.
They're the questions, and they're what you've got to answer. And ultimately, as you look at it, they both have acted disrespectfully to both clubs, Brentford and to Newcastle, the way they've gone about it. But ultimately, it's two ways you look at it. From a player's point of view, I know it's not going to sit well with everyone, but like I always say, when a club don't want you, they'll soon make it difficult for you. And now that's not me defending the players, by the way, and their actions that they're going about it, because obviously they're going about it the wrong way. But if they're being told this is what we have to do to get the move through, the interesting thing will be what we'll all have to look at is if both moves go through. Now, we both can say that they haven't conducted themselves well and respectfully to their football clubs. Chris, you said you're not happy with the way Isak is going about his business, and nor you condone with Johan Wissa. But if they both get their move, then what happens? So that's what I said before. I think it's, unless Newcastle get 150 million, I think all the Premier League clubs are hoping this move don't go through, not just because he'll strengthen Liverpool, but it's getting the power back from the players.
Some would argue they already have plenty of power anyway.
No, they do, but if this move goes through, both of them go through, now other players will be thinking, well, no problem.
We'll all do exactly the same.
I'm not playing. Yeah, exactly.
Chris, just on what happens tonight, we saw the travelling fans sing about Alexander Isak last week at Villa, but only after the game had finished, as if to say, we're putting all our energy into the players who are out there while the match is on, and then we'll make our point. Do you think it's even more significant tonight, given that you're playing Liverpool, that you almost act like he doesn't exist and the scenario doesn't exist, and just focus on the game and those that are playing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the away fans and the home fans are slightly different as well. I'm sure Conor will agree. It's the same at Liverpool. You get a different kind of atmosphere. I mean, the home crowd at St James's Park 100% will be united behind Eddie Howe and the players on the pitch. They'll not sing about Isak. They might do it after the game like they did against Aston Villa, but in the 90 minutes of the game, all they'll do is back the players. And I mean, it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere tonight. You couldn't pick a better game to televise, I think, across the world than the one you've picked tonight. The atmosphere, the ferocity, the intensity. There's going to be some new Liverpool players who are new to this league as well, in the shape of Ekitike and Florian Wirtz, and they're about to have a real baptism what the Premier League can be about tonight, I think, because this game is going to be so intense. But I back the Toonami and the Geordies that are in the crowd as well to back the players on the pitch and make them feel 10 foot tall. And we've seen almost the crowd roar the ball in the back of the net against teams that were way too good for us on paper. PSG teams, the Arsenal, as I mentioned before, was looking to be at the games. And yeah, I think we're going to have the same thing tonight. So they'll back the lads on the pitch and forget all about he who shan't be named until full time, I think. So.
Conor, we're just going to come to you in just a moment, having read out a couple of messages we've had on social media. One from Damien, who says, I'm expecting Liverpool to table a second bid 2 hours before kick-off to disrupt the dressing room and potentially the atmosphere in the stadium. And Michael says, as a Liverpool supporter, I don't want Isak. He's got no respect for Newcastle. He should be playing and wait and see if a higher bid comes in. What do you think, Conor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Damien's not a director of football operating against Liverpool, because that's some pretty harsh tactics there. Yeah, I think putting a bid in 2 hours before the kickoff tonight is pretty unlikely. We've heard throughout, and certain Newcastle fans have seen online, I'm sure would disagree. But we've heard throughout this window from Leverkusen and other teams such as that, how well Liverpool have conducted their business, and kind of think their director of football said it was gentlemanly throughout. On the face of it, and obviously none of us know what's going on behind the scenes, but on the face of it, Liverpool said they wouldn't go back in for Isak until they'd had some encouragement from Newcastle, and that hasn't happened yet. So I think it's pretty unlikely we'll see a bid 2 hours before the game. My hope is, for the sake of both sides, that they're probably letting this fixture get out of the way before they conduct any further business to stop it from distracting even further. And as for Michael's comment about wanting Isak as a Liverpool player, I've got to be honest that it has crossed my mind. I'm sure it's crossed the mind of many Liverpool players, many Liverpool fans rather. Sorry. You see a player acting the way that Isak has acted, trying to force his move and putting out statements the way he has, and overshadowing the PFA awards and things like that. Especially as a Liverpool fan, where Salah did so well there once again. It's slightly taken the shine away from that, and you do start to wonder: is this the kind of attitude that we want at our club? We've done well in the past kind of few years, certainly under Klopp as well, with not signing players who brought a bad attitude and a bad feel into the club. You do sort of question it, but on the other hand, you got a player who's top 3 strikers in the world and could arguably outscore Salah this season. Then it's maybe you take the risk.
Chris, does this affect the two sets of fans at all in terms of the relationship between Liverpool and Newcastle supporters, or is it very much down to just the behaviour of one person, really?
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? I think most Newcastle and Liverpool fans, probably match-going fans and sensible fans, we have a bit of a respect for each other. We're both very similar work cities, very similar type of fan bases. It's more probably the kind of furore online that's come through the back of all of this. A lot of mischief making, a lot of enticement going on. That's just the social media these days. I think if you had a Newcastle fan and a Liverpool fan, if Connor and I were sitting in the pub having a pint, we'd probably be quite diplomatic about this whole thing, I think, to be honest. But there's no animosity between Liverpool in that regard. I mean, we want to be where Liverpool are. We want to win titles. We want to be that team. Obviously we had a taste of a trophy last season against Liverpool in the final, where we won, and Connor's been very respectful there about how we played. So, Newcastle want to be that club. So we don't dislike Liverpool as a club, but I think this has definitely caused a bit of unnecessary animosity. I think if I could describe the whole thing, it's been unsavoury, I would say. Between the whole situation. It's probably been driven by Isak's representatives, maybe in the player himself, but it has been a bit unsavoury.
That's what I have to pick up on what you said, Conor, and what you said there, Chris, is on the fans at Newcastle are disappointed with him, and the majority of them are saying, I don't want him to play for the football club again. Connor's saying some of Liverpool fans are thinking, do we want a player like that to come to the club? Is it going to disrupt the fan, the players and all that side of it? But he's being advised some way along the line. He is being advised by someone, his own team, third party, whatever it is. He is being advised to act in a certain way, unless it's coming off himself, which I'm maybe a small part of it. But he's been advised some way. I'm sure that to act in a certain way to force this move through, and ultimately he could be annoying two sets of fans here, annoying his own fans that support him loyally, and the Liverpool fans that are thinking, could he do that to our club?
Will we still be talking about this on deadline day, which is of course here next Monday? Plenty of build-up, plenty of coverage on Sky Sports News. A one-word answer then to finish from the three of you, starting with you, Chris. Where will Alexander Isak be playing on September the 2nd, next Tuesday?
Newcastle.
Connor?
Liverpool.
Charlie?
Newcastle.
We shall see. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Good to speak to you this morning.
Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch both start. Dom Szoboszlai at right back. So we go with Alisson Becker in goal, Milos Kerkez, Virgil van Dijk the skipper, Ibu Konate, Dominic Szoboszlai the back line, Ryan Gravenberch back after a one-game ban, Curtis Jones, Florian Wirtz, and then Cody Gakpo, Ugo Ekitike and Mohamed Salah. Bench of Georgie Mamadashvili. Conor Bradley is back on the bench. Good news. Joe Gomez, Wataru Endo, Federico Chiesa, Andy Robertson, Harvey Elliott, Rio Engamoa, and for the first time, we welcome our new Italian centre-back, 18-year-old Giovanni Leone. Newcastle, Eddie Howe names an unchanged team from the draw with Villa. Nick Pope in goal, Tino Livramento, Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, Kieran Trippier the back line, Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, Joe Linton midfield, Harvey Barnes, new signing from Nottingham Forest, Anthony Elanga, supporting Anthony Gordon, who will play as the lone striker. Bench of Alan Ramsdale, the ex-Arsenal goalkeeper, who's come in on loan from Southampton, Lewis Hall, Sven Botman, new signing Malik Thior, William Asulia, Jacob Murphy, Joe Willock, new signing for Villa, Jacob Ramsey and Lewis Miley. Simon Hooper, the ref, in charge of VAR, John Brooks. Alongside us, former Liverpool skipper, one of the best number 5s we've ever had, Ronnie Whelan.
Cheers, Shunt. Here we go again. My God, this is tense. It's only the second game of the season. All that's going on outside of this stadium and the pitch with Isak, it's all been brought in, and it's so tense. Liverpool have got to get to grips with this game very early on. They cannot lose the midfield like they lost her at Wembley.
And I noticed that our psychologist, exactly. And Richardson was on the with the team there, looking out and shaking hands with all the players. That's quite interesting. Maybe just helping the players deal with an atmosphere like this.
There's a lot of players out there have been through atmospheres like this. I don't really know why he's there, to tell you the truth.
But Konate with a long ball down the field. Liverpool attacking from left to right in the first half, looking for Ekitike, cleared away. Van Dijk plays it forward for Liverpool, and it's gone all the way back to Nick Pope. The Newcastle fans, well, it looks like a Champions League atmosphere for this one here tonight at St James's Park. Their first home game of the season, of course, and after they beat us at Wembley. But important for us to get Gravenberch back in that midfield tonight after suspension. But Newcastle starting bright on the right with Alanga. Good challenge back there by Gakpo, getting back defensively to help out for Liverpool. But Gakpo overruns it, loses out to Tonali on the right-hand side. Alanga's got away from Kerkez. Van Dijk has to cut it across. Newcastle get an early corner.
Yeah, it's a bad Gakpo giving the ball away where he did. You know, he has time. He can just get it and run at defenders, but he's kicked it too far ahead of himself and he's given away this corner, which he didn't want to do early on.
And the Newcastle plastic flags out in force.
Well, you get Dan Bourne up again, that's another problem. That's a major problem.
But an early set piece inside the opening minute for Newcastle on the right-hand side. Alanga, who scored for Forest at Anfield, the winner last season, swings in the corner. Good header away at the near post by Kerkez. Dietz jumping in field. Kerkez with a big leap on Joelinton. Good strength. Gakpo's been caught there by Joelinton. A really high boot there. Thankfully he's okay. Virgil van Dijk ushering the Liverpool players away who weren't happy about that challenge from Joelinton.
Well, I'm not happy. I'm not for people gathering around the ref. But was it Gakpo? He could have done a little bit more himself by going down, and then the referee would have decisions to make. But Joelinton was the man who was at Wembley as well. Every tackle was bad tackles. So the referee's got to watch.
Ball out to the right to Salah. Up against Livramento, but Salah can't control it that time, and Newcastle get a throw. Of course, Eddie Howe, by the way, besides the cup final, he's only won 2 out of 22 games against Liverpool in all competitions as a manager. Interesting in the replay tonight, Ronnie Whelan, that they're showing us a ref cam for the referee. All changed this season, has got a camera by his chest.
Will it make him do the right decision every time?
Well, one would like to hope so, but probably not. 0-0, 2.5 gone. Ball is with Alisson. Big kick out towards Salah on the right, but it goes straight into the Newcastle dugout. Newcastle United will get the throw in from the near side. But without Isak, Newcastle have not won their last 6 Premier League games. Now Dan Burn will launch one forward, straight down the middle, looking for the pace of Alanga and Barnes. Virgil van Dijk cuts it out. Curtis Jones got a touch, but then cleared away by Trippier. Van Dijk, good header to Salah, flicks it on. Vietz breaking on the right-hand side, but Tonali beats him to it, and Livramento does well. Tonali, the Italian, from the left side, driving forward in midfield. Harvey Barnes on the left wing today, with Gordon down the middle. Livramento back in midfield to Fabian Schär. Ball over the top, on the right to Trippier, can't control it. Liverpool through.
Surely he's offside. Trippier was gone well before. Well, the linesman's not flagging for offside, but it'd be easier if he did flag for the offside to get out of this. But now it's a throw in our own half, which is Newcastle have pushed, 7 men around to try and get the ball back.
Just looking at Curtis Jones with Szoboszlai at right back, he's got a big responsibility today, hasn't he, with Maka not playing?
A huge responsibility, and in this game, it's not giving the ball away back to Newcastle every time we get it. Newcastle have started stronger than us.
Vietz, good play, great ball first time to Gakpo down the left, and Dan Burn cuts in. Vietz has been caught by a really late challenge there, you know. Looking at a few fans speaking about it before, they were really worried that Vietz, with the atmosphere expected like it is, and we've already seen a high challenge by Joelinton. Vietz got away there, and it's Tonali, the Italian, no, it's Trippier who catches him.
Trippier just with his studs up there. He does catch him on the foot with studs.
His studs high up. That's something Viets is going to have to get used to in the Premier League, though, isn't it?
But if it's a foul, it's not a case of getting used to it. I'm sure he's been kicked many times.
So 0-0, 5 minutes gone. We've actually been given the free kick for it.
The referee didn't think it was a bad offence.
Just inside our half on the left. I mean, Newcastle, we know, Ronnie, they were very physical at Wembley.
Well, they're allowed to be physical.
Exactly. Ball into the area with a free kick, it's overhit. Ekatike can't get on the end of that. And the ball is back with Nick Pope.
You see, little things like that don't help with Wirtz. You know, it's just basically a free kick that we've got that could be just lofted in and then people go and challenge. He's overhit it right out and it stops the game for us. When Newcastle have the big cheer because it's run out of play.
And it goes out towards Shear. Wirtz putting pressure on him. Newcastle go long. Kerkez with the first header. Van Dijk then will clear it forward. Header away, back there by Shear. Kerkez knocks it down. Gakpo, nice turn. Runs into traffic. Tonali hammers it clear. No one there up top for Newcastle, and Virgil van Dijk will shepherd the ball back to Alisson. Anthony Gordon puts him under, but Ali with a big clearance down the left. Ekatike hauled back by Trippier. And Liverpool get the free kick.
Well, that's right, isn't it?
He did play for Atletico under Simeone, Trippier, don't forget, Ronnie.
Yeah, I remember that. But you do see he's got hold of him as well. Well, it's a free kick for Liverpool, and then let's make something of it. Get a good ball in the box and let's see how they handle it.
Just over 6 minutes gone here at St James's. Liverpool getting a lot of free kicks in this early stages of the game. Florian Wirtz again to take it from that left-hand side. And we're right-footed. And we look towards Van Dijk, Salah at the back post. No, it's full dissolved. Gone short to Kerkez. Kerkez will plant it back post. Nobody there. Dan Burn with a free header clear. One back by Gravenberch on the outside right. Salah back to Szoboszlai. Whips in a good ball actually. Konate stays forward in the box. Joelinton gets it away. And Newcastle try and mount a counter. Good challenge by Gravenberch, but a mistake by Kerkez. And through the legs of Konate, but Kerkez recovers with a vital interception. But then Gravenberch gives the ball away, and then he fouls Guimaraes, who rolls on the floor. And a yellow card for Ryan Gravenberch on his return.
Story of the first half so far. Balls that we're winning back. We get it back here. We have it. Curtis Jones, a little ball into Gravenberch, gives it away again. It's a foul. It's a booking. It's a foul from behind. But it's the silly little things of giving balls away too easily back to Newcastle.
Yeah, sadly we cannot argue about that yellow card for that one. I agree with you. That's a yellow card all day long.
It's not exactly what you want in the heat of the moment, with the way it's going. Because referees get nervous as well. If he makes another silly little mistake, he'll be off. You've got to be able to control
your emotions.
in
That's
these
what
games.
Arne said, coming into it. Both managers said that, didn't they? Arne Slot and Eddie Howe. But 0-0 with 8 minutes gone. Free kick, which Trippier will take just inside the Liverpool half in central midfield. Trippier plays it short to his left to Tonali. Ball up and under in the box. Burn beaten in the air by Van Dijk. Great header by the skipper, that one. The throw-in goes the other way. Level with the Liverpool penalty area. Far side, got to watch Dan Burn, of course, his goal at Wembley from a set piece.
Thankfully he's gone back centre back.
Yeah, Newcastle throw. Trippier throws it short to Elanga. Trippier has got away from Wirtz. Wirtz has blocked him well. Double deflection. Goal kick.
Done well.
Did well Wirtz there.
Yeah. With a little bit of defensive work. He works so hard, Wirtz. You know, off the ball. I've seen him in the couple of games and he's all over the place.
So the Liverpool away end, of course, which is right up in the heavens, isn't it? Heck of a way up.
Nosebleed.
Yeah. Alisson, a good dummy to turn away from Gordon. Szoboszlai, nicely done, rolls it back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk over the top. Wirtz has made a great run. Trippier with a good header away. And Joelinton gets there first, but the referee gives a free kick for the challenge by Wirtz on Trippier.
Again, it's silly, isn't it? It's just a silly little foul that doesn't need to be given. Trippier's heading it back out. We could pick it up in midfield.
It's turning into a battle, this, as we expect it might do in the opening stages.
Yeah, a battle. I don't mind a battle. A battle's a battle. We'll have a go. But don't be doing silly little things like that. Wirtz had no need to run into him. He's going to head it back to us. Shearer texting Isak.
Yeah, in the stands, Alan Shearer and Supermac, Malcolm McDonald, he's still in Phil Thompson's pocket, by the way, Ron. For the cup final in 74. Gakpo slips on that touchline. It will be a Newcastle throw. Interesting, young Rio Engamoa, only 16, but amongst the bench again.
Yeah, well, they're watching day in, day out. We're not. They know what he's offering.
And he's an element of surprise off the bench, isn't he, to run at fullbacks. And we know anything can happen. Newcastle go long, it's wasted in the end, and it's back with Alisson, just inside his own penalty area. The little goalkeeper.
I don't think I've seen so many long balls in a Premiership game for, God, forever. It's like, we'll kick it long, you kick it long.
Absolutely. Time Alisson boots it long up towards Cody Gakpo. Trippier missed it. Ekitike wide on the left wing, getting there before Shearer. Ekitike being booed by the Newcastle fans after he turned them down to sign for Liverpool.
Along with the other 3 or 4.
Which is fair enough. He's a big enough to accept.
Yeah, definitely.
Kerkez halfway inside Newcastle territory, almost approaching the penalty area. He has got a bit of a long throw on him, you know, and that's why the 2 centre-backs, Virgil and Ibu Konate, have come forward for this. Kerkez will launch it into the middle. Dan Burn, the tallest player, gets it away. Kerkez takes a touch, good cross, and Burn again gets it away. Gordon, nice turn in his own half, holding off Salah and Wirtz. Still Anthony Gordon, takes a tumble, silly foul, free kick given for Newcastle, they play on. Bit of space now, through the middle for Guimaraes, through ball for Alanga, Alisson read that well, got off his line, sweeper keeper, boots it into touch.
Yeah, it's, again, just falling asleep, Liverpool. Joe Linton just put the ball down quickly, while people were having a word with the referee, plays it forward, and then we're all over the place again.
12 and a half gone, 0-0. Share at the back for Newcastle, to Trippier at right back, forward to Tonali, touches it down for Guimaraes, back to Tonali again, the Italian, good tackle Curtis Jones, Gakpo cuts past Trippier, feeding Wirtz, first time, nice ball, Ekitike to Gakpo, who's got free in the area, Trippier shoulder barges him out the way, and Newcastle clear. Share in the penalty area, plays it straight to Ekitike, Wirtz in the box on the left, Wirtz, Kehler, good save by Pope, really good try by Florian Wirtz from an angle.
Newcastle at 6 and 7 trying to play it out of defence. Liverpool do well, bodies pushing forward, bad ball by Sheik. Wirtz just opens his body up, Pope makes the most of it.
Corner.
Makes it look a better save than it really is. But it was a good chance.
And Florian Wirtz is going to take the corner kick for Liverpool on this near side. Virgil is having a word there with Konate and Ekitike in the box. I think he's probably saying, look, all of our deliveries so far, Burn has headed every one of them away. Maybe someone's got to go on and Burn. I know he's the tallest player on the field, but it's easier said than done.
So where Bourne is pushing. Go past them, go long, go far post.
Wirtz to try again, another corner, went near post. This time Alanga gets it clear from Ekitike. Gravenberg back on the halfway line. Forward to Dom Szoboszlai. Good ball. Jones taking up a really intelligent position at left back. Clips it to the edge of the area, but he got there first, Livramento. Rides the challenge of Van Dijk. Konate stays upfield, trying to block Newcastle back. Tonali through midfield. Share out to Trippier. On their outside right. Guimaraes was caught by Gakpo. Not much in it, but it was enough for a free kick. On the outside.
I'm a little worried, the manager, I would think, at this moment.
Through midfield, Gordon on the ball for Newcastle. Joe Linton Back to Tonali. Deep in his own half, Burn. On the outside left, Livramento. Cuts past Gravenberch, who's been booked and can't really dive in. Livramento, good tackle by Cody Gakpo. But Newcastle get it back again. Guimaraes, Trippier. Guimaraes has got away from Kerkez on the outside right. Low cross, Gravenberch in the right place to clear for a throw.
Pressure coming on. Settled into it, Newcastle now.
Guimaraes on the outside right, the Brazilian. Turning away from Wirtz. Rolls it across the Burn. I don't think Mohamed Salah has touched this ball yet for Liverpool in the opening 15 minutes, by the way. Newcastle go long. Alanga in the penalty area will get there. Pulls it back behind Joelinton through his legs and danger over. Salah does get a touch now, but his clearance is not great. And Gordon turning in the penalty area. Liverpool can't get it away. And then Szoboszlai recklessly dives in at him and gives a free kick away on the edge of the penalty area. Probably I'm quite happy that the referee didn't give him a card there, because he could have done. It was reckless by Szoboszlai.
Anthony Gordon, he hasn't been touched. He puts his left leg across and falls. That's what he does, and he does it an awful lot. But Liverpool are buying it. The goalkeeper's got to come for this from me.
A big court again there. Kerkez has got to be careful.
Yeah, and then Mo gives it away when it comes out straight away as well. There's mistakes all over the pitch at the minute.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, Kerkez. What happened there? He was out of position, and then they got him behind him there, and Virgil's dragged out a centre-back to try and block it out. Yeah. But this is dangerous, this. It's literally 2 yards outside the box. It's central, tight angle on the left. Sandro Tonali to whip it in, and in the end it's an awful delivery. He's completely mishit it with the outside of his right foot. It's just gone right across the penalty area low. Too much weight on it. Throw in.
Yeah, Gravenberch looks like he hasn't played a game this season. He's a little slow and ponderous at times.
Goalless, 17 gone. Danger at either end there. Beart's coming the closest for Liverpool so far. Ekitike battling, and Newcastle getting all the 50-50s at the moment. He was in a 50-50 with Cher, and the referee give it Newcastle's way.
Because he pulled the yellow card out, because Ekitike kicked it away. I'd like to know what he's saying. Both sides, I feel he's saying.
Yeah, just checking with Ollie in our gallery if a yellow card was shown there to Ekitike. It might well have been for dissent. We'll try and confirm that. Virgil van Dijk was furious there.
Well, there was a battle between the two players, wasn't it? They were both pulling and grabbing at each other, but the referee decided.
And what about the high boots of Joelinton on Gakpo, which went unpunished? I'm not going to start on this.
No,
sorry,
it's too early.
Too early for that. But it's Trippier in midfield to take for Newcastle. It's gone short. Guimaraes, first time ball in. Good header, edge of the box by Ekitike to clear. And then Ekitike. Oh, and the ref's given Newcastle another free kick. The Liverpool players are not happy with this official. He's playing to the crowd, Ronnie Whelan.
You know what? I think it's a free kick. Mo just didn't look at the ball. He just decided to run into Livramento. It was after that what happened, where two Newcastle players chased down a Liverpool player who was on the ball.
I think that no yellow card it was for Ekitike.
He kicked it away, and then the Newcastle players run to the referee about it.
Mo is still pleading innocence, but Newcastle are getting a lot of niggly free kicks here.
Yeah, but this reminds me very much of the Carabao or the
Cup final.
See, look, that's just a push from Mo. So that would be a free kick. But yeah, the way that game went is the way this game is going. Newcastle are coming into the game now. They're getting every decision.
Trippier over the free kick for Newcastle. It's not within shooting range. He is a good free kick taker. It's a long way out, this one. Maybe 40 yards out, Ronnie.
It's an awful long way. If Alisson lets it in from there, we have to be worried.
So 0-0 so far, but Newcastle getting a lot of free kicks inside the Liverpool half at this moment in time. Trippier launches it in. Good. Alisson calls for Gakpo to leave it, which he did. And Ali's got it back in his goal. He's got to get a bit of karma here, Liverpool. I'm not sure what the ref giving here now. I don't think Anthony Gordon or Alisson know what the referee.
I don't think the referee knows what he's on about.
What he's doing here. I don't know what all that is about.
Because it was no offside. It was just a ball chipped into the goalkeeper. And
he's given offside. He's given a free kick.
I know he's given a free kick.
Forward by Alisson. Headed away by Trippier. Now Gordon beats Gravenberch in the air. And driving on now is Joelinton. Good ball. Barnes. First time he's had to run at Szoboszlai. They've got it. Livramento has got away from Szoboszlai in the box. Low cross. Brilliant take by Alisson with Gordon coming in. Great goalkeeping that.
Winning all the battles again. Newcastle. They win the header in midfield and now they break. So Szoboszlai has got to go with the run of Livramento past him, and Wirtz has got to then take Barnes. Szoboszlai doesn't, and
no, none of them did
Alisson does well.
And we give the ball away again. Joelinton, Elanga on the outside. Kerkez was committed. I think he won the ball this time. They're trying to get free kicks all over the show. These running, I'm telling you.
It's the way the crowd and the players are just all trying to get everything from the referee.
We've got to be careful here.
Yeah.
We really have. That time Elanga, the former Manchester United man. But it was a good challenge that by Kerkez, and really good. If you think about the one he gave away at Bournemouth and got booked, which is why he was substituted. He dived in rash, he didn't there. He won it really well. That was good from Kerkez. And Burn going all the way back to the goalkeeper. Liverpool yet to get Wirtz in the game, really, apart from that one effort he's had at goal so far to try and release the forwards.
You can put a few more there as well.
Yeah. But Livramento breaks away for Newcastle. Well, suddenly some spaces are appearing in the Liverpool half. The left back allowed to run. Gordon. Trippier, low cross. Scuffed it straight to Alisson. And now with Trippier out of position. Wirtz. Oh, and mistake by Schär. Ekitike got away from him, but then stumbled. And then Ekitike plays it straight to Guimaraes.
Look how many men Newcastle are getting around the ball at the moment.
Quickly. Back. We weren't quick enough there, were we, when we got away?
I think he was a little unlucky that I caught him on the heel and didn't go ahead of him.
Yeah. Still goalless, 22 minutes gone. Tonali. Forward to Livramento. Ball over the top, but Barnes won't get
Another
there.
free kick, so Szoboszlai's just gone in and done.
Virgil van Dijk and Arne Slot here are getting really agitated. I've said in commentary before, a couple of decisions are right about free kicks, but let's just put it this way, it's a bit different to your day.
No, but let's put it this way, that Liverpool are making silly, stupid mistakes giving free kicks away. That's getting the crowd all up and at it again. The players are getting around, the Newcastle players are getting around the referee. Referee is starting to get a little bit frightened, and everything will go Newcastle's way. The Liverpool players it is at the moment need to sort it out quickly.
Totally agree. And it's Newcastle must have had so many free kicks in the Liverpool half here at the moment. They're going to take it long into the box. Gravenberch let it go this time. Ibu Konate has been fouled by Dan Burn. Free kick Liverpool.
Ironic cheers from the Liverpool
From
crowd.
the away end, yeah. Now Jones. Wirtz coming very deep. Van Dijk in his own box. Gravenberch still very deep. Jones, that's a nice reverse ball to his left to Gravenberch. He's been fouled by Guimaraes. Liverpool free kick. Deep in their own half.
The referee just trying to even things up, I think, giving Liverpool that free kick.
McAllister's a big miss in a game like this, Ronnie.
Especially like this, where we need somebody, balls to come into him now. Now they're putting high pressure on and we're not getting bodies clear. That's going to cause trouble.
Konate back to Alisson again. First time clearance. Ekitike did well to play it wide on the right to Gravenberch, who's out-muscled by Joelinton. And don't forget, Gravenberch's been booked, so he can't really scrap and fight his way back against him. Meanwhile, Szoboszlai put under pressure from Harvey Barnes. Little back heel, that's nice play. Now Gravenberch, Salah, first time. It's a great ball from Salah. Ekitike can turn. Good block by Burnley. Tried to release Salah on the counter-attack. But Anthony Gordon's turn. Konate has dragged him down again. It's another silly free kick we're giving away. This could be a yellow card for Konate. Or yeah, it is. It's a yellow card. This is not great for us at the moment.
No, we're struggling.
I wouldn't say we're under immense pressure, but we're just doing some silly things.
Look,
and you don't want Konate and Gravenberch yellow carded at this with only 25 minutes gone.
He's dragging them back from early on.
Yeah. Silly from Ibu, that, wasn't it? No need to do that.
But the thing is, he got himself so close to him, and then it broke for Anthony Gordon, and he's away then.
And
so he really had to do it, but it was a mistake in the first place.
And I'm not being funny, the size of Konate compared to Gordon, he doesn't need to do that. So again, Newcastle are winning a lot of free kicks in this half. So far defensively, we're doing all right. Trippier, free kick taken quickly. In the box on the left, Gordon releasing Alanga. Dangerous looking cross. Good header by Van Dijk with Joe Linton coming in. Ball back in the mix. Gakpo clears away from Gordon. Header away by Tonali. Alanga down the left wing. Szoboszlai does well to block it. The clearance, Salah is on the chase, but Trippier will play it back to his goalkeeper, Nick Pope. He will go straight up and under, straight down the middle. Brilliant header by Van Dijk under pressure. Gakpo turning Guimaraes on the left. Did well, Cody. Jones has got some space now. That's a brilliant ball by Curtis Jones. Salah, good control, just outside the box. Salah, oh, he tried to release Curtis Jones, who'd made a great run. It's good defending, to be fair, by Newcastle. Now, Curtis, don't foul Livramento over the far side. Just jockey him. He's doing well, Curtis. Unlucky that. That was a good counter-attack.
It was. I thought Mo was just going to let go for goal. He decided to play it through, and it was well intercepted by Livramento.
Here's Gravenberch, picks it up in midfield. Wirtz runs past. Oh, you can't do that against Newcastle. He beat Gordon, but then he ran into Guimaraes and lost the ball. And Joe Linton on the counter-attack. On the outside of Szoboszlai. Barnes, first chance 1v1 with the Hungarian, playing at right back tonight. Still Barnes. Cuts inside. Szoboszlai is actually doing all right at right back so far. But Barnes again. Danger onto his right foot. There's a good cross. Header! Oh, it's over the top by Gordon. Best chance for Newcastle so far.
Yeah, good cross in. Barnes decides that he can't get past Szoboszlai, so he thinks he'll whip it in. And when he does, Anthony Gordon has got behind Van Dijk and Konate, and it's Kerkez who comes across.
Yeah.
He can't get it on target, Anthony Gordon.
27 minutes played here, and it's still goalless.
It is. I just don't get Liverpool at the moment. Like Wirtz just give the ball away so easily further up the pitch.
You know,
can't get hold of anything.
Yeah. You know the thing I think he's got to get used to, and he deserves time. But then Gravenberch with a simple pass to Salah, but he gives it away. You heard Ronnie Whelan sigh. I think, but now Gordon with a touch gets away from Konate. Back heel, dangerous this. Konate didn't clear it. Barnes, Alanga in the box on the right. Kerkez trying to block him. Dangerous ball in. Gordon got a touch. Szoboszlai did brilliantly to get a block on that, and Alisson gets there.
Great defending, but we are hanging on. He wins the ball there. For me, that looked a foul.
By Gordon on Konate.
Yeah, and then it comes off Gordon's leg, and now they're in. But what a tackle by Szoboszlai.
This is brilliant from Szoboszlai. Brilliant.
It's done enough.
Newcastle on the attack. Alanga from the right. Dangerous ball in. Header by Gordon. Is wide again. He's getting too much space. Anthony Gordon in the box.
We're going to have to get a grip.
Eddie Howe applauds from the bench. His team are attacking at a pretty high level here, causing us some problems. You know, going back, Ronnie, as I said, we're gonna have to give him time, Wirtz, because I think watching him, I watched him a few times in the Bundesliga, and there's a difference in the Bundesliga and the Premier League. You can get away with what he tried to do in the Bundesliga, to dribble like that, but you're playing against Guimaraes, Tonali, Joe Linton, those three in midfield for Newcastle. You cannot do that.
No, they close. This league is different to any other. They just close you down so quick. If think you've got time in the centre circle. You are kidding yourself, because you're not going to get time against anybody in this league. Alisson just trying to quieten down a bit.
Forward by Alisson down the left.
That's a foul.
Looking for Gakpo. He's given it. He's given Liverpool the free kick for the foul by Trippier. He's had a few Trippier so far. He's not been yellow carded, by the way.
A few little pushes on people.
Yeah. So 2 Liverpool players on yellow cards, Konate and Gravenberch. Half an hour gone, no score. Florian Wirtz with the only effort at goal from Liverpool so far. It's been a bit of a backs to the wall job and a real battle. And we knew it would. It's nothing different to what we expected, really.
No, we always know it was going to be like this.
Liverpool just trying to take the sting out of the game at the moment. And the Newcastle fans booing as Liverpool slow it down. Van Dijk to his right to Konate, just inside his own half. Ibu looking for Salah over the top, headed away by Burn. It was a bit of a nothing ball, that really.
That was exact words I had in my head. It was just for nobody. I know Wirtz had made a run, but then
Arna's getting frustrated on the dugout there, you can see. Here's Alisson out to Curtis Jones. Alisson again. And down the middle, Ekatike. I also think, as people, you look at Szoboszlai, the energy he gives us driving through midfield. I think we're missing that tonight because he's playing at right back. I mean, I would guess Conor Bradley, he's only been back in training for a week, probably can only come on after about 60, 65 minutes. But then Konate gives the ball away. And Tonali is running clear. Van Dijk into the area. He's played it square for Elanga. And Alisson makes a brilliant smothering save. Ibu is all over the place at the moment. Don't know what's going on with him.
He had so much room in front of him. That was the bad part. If there was less room, he would have passed it somewhere quick.
Now Liverpool on the counter. Good play by Jones. Gakpo, left edge of the area. Gakpo beats Trippier. Oh, the cross doesn't beat the first man. Curtis Jones now on the left wing for Liverpool. Wirtz has taken good ball. Wirtz in the box, turns Guimaraes. Ekatike takes over. Jones, edge of the area. Ekatike trying to play it back to Gakpo, but played it away from him and out of play, which sums up Liverpool at the moment, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not been a good night so far. Things can change very, very quickly. Brilliant by Alisson. Read it, got there.
Ibu needs to get his head sorted again after that yellow card. That was rash, wasn't it? He did the same last week against Bournemouth. But it remains goalless. Newcastle throw, Trippier down the line. Header on by Elanga. Curtis Jones turns it back to Ryan Gravenberch. In the centre of the park. Jones again. Gravenberch. Jones driving on for Liverpool. Interestingly enough, and one of our best midfield combinations, we spoke about McAllister missing tonight for personal reasons, and the last time McAllister and Gravenberch played together with Szoboszlai in midfield, the three of them, was that brilliant win over Tottenham when we won the league. McAllister missed all of the games at the end of the season. Liverpool again slowing it down. I think it's the right thing to do, Ronnie.
Well, Newcastle are not pushing up, so this is better for Liverpool just to keep it for a little bit.
Gravenberch, nice turn on the halfway line. Good ball to Wirtz. Wirtz, that's better. Out to Salah on the right. Salah back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's whipped in ball to the left. It's overhit and it misses Cody Gakpo. Goes out for a throw.
It does, that really sums it up. We do all the good work to get into a position to get something, and then we let ourselves down again.
11 minutes to go to the break. Florian Wirtz with the curler, beaten away by Nick Pope. Anthony Gordon with a header over the top at the other end. Jones, lovely skill into the area on the left. It's done well, Curtis, done very well. He's been brushed on the floor by Guimaraes, but no free kick. Meanwhile, here's Gravenberch. Gravenberch shot! Oh, what a goal! That's a stunner by Ryan Gravenberch! to give Liverpool the lead. It came out of nothing. He's hit it low and true beyond the reach of Pope, who's stolen by it. What a goal, Ryan Gravenberch.
Pope completely stunned by it. It's like he didn't expect anything like that to happen. Just when we got a few passes going, Curtis Jones does so well. Gets taken out by Gimmer's foul. Leave the referee alone, that's a great decision. And then Gravenberch does get a little touch off Shep, but it's still going in.
What a hit.
As if he's going to put it in the top left, and he pulls it low into the goalkeeper's right. Keeper's nowhere near.
Fabulous
We
strike.
don't deserve it, but we'll take it.
Ryan Gravenberch in. Slight deflection off Shea into the net. Newcastle 0, Liverpool 1.
I think it was going in anyway.
I think it's going in, yeah. I think he gets the minimal. He didn't score all last season, Ryan Gravenberch, would you believe?
No, that's good that he's got this one.
But he's got one now on his return to Premier League action. And Liverpool are in front. And for once, a bad decision by the referee has actually, as Ronnie Whelan rightly said there, turned in our favour. It was a blatant foul on Curtis Jones. I don't think he played an advantage, but it fell for Gravenberch and he just hit it. That's what we've been saying. In the games like this, you get a chance, have a pop. Salah looking for Wirtz in the box on the right, but Burn gets across to clear. Straight to Gravenberch. Liverpool got space there.
The other side
Gakpo was
was on,
frustrated.
wasn't
He didn't play it to him for some reason.
It's like he came back into where there was 4 or 5 men. There was only one the other side.
Didn't Curtis do well for that goal, by
Yes,
the way, there?
yeah.
Held the ball up really well there, under real pressure before he was fouled. Now Liverpool at walking pace. Newcastle 0, Liverpool 1. Ryan Gravenberch the scorer. Konate turning away from Joe Linton. Back towards Alisson again. Kick to Burn, cuts it out. Jones win it back for Liverpool. Back to Konate. Szoboszlai tells him to give it back to Alisson under pressure from Barnes. Alisson with a kick out to the left to Cody Gakpo. Good header. Ekitike, can he get there? No, Alanga got there first. Pope is out of his goal. And he boots it into the stand.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Good pressure by Ekitike.
Yeah. But the thing about the goal as well, it stunned the fans, it stunned Newcastle fans, it stunned Newcastle players. It's like, we're doing so well here, we should be probably leading, but now we're 1 goal behind.
Jones in midfield, back to Konate. Jones again with a touch. Wirtz coming deep on the halfway line. Konate, a bit of a loose ball. Salah can't get there. Szoboszlai up and under volley clearance. Burn, beating Wirtz in the air. Wirtz with a challenge on Gimmerreich. Gimmerreich beats Florian Wirtz. And that's a ball looking for Alanga. It's overhit. Back to Alisson. About 8 minutes to the break.
Well, how good would it be to sneak another one before half time?
Gravenberch. Wirtz. Oh, he got the ball stuck under his heel there. Gives it away. It's Tonali in the box. Good block by Van Dijk. Stood his ground. Wirtz has to do better there. Here's Alanga on the outside right. Dangerous cross. Good header by Szoboszlai. He's done really well, Szoboszlai again there.
It's the job of a right back.
Corner.
He's made 1 block already against Gordon, and that again getting to that side. Watching what's around him. Gordon comes in behind him, but he sees him, he knows he's there, and he gets it away. Uses his body.
And he's captain of his country as well, Dominic Szoboszlai. A good footballer.
Play Ireland soon as well.
Yeah. Szoboszlai against Queeve. Gallagher. Now at Newcastle corner.
What makes you nauseous, that
left
camera?
side. Yeah, the ref cam that we can see on our monitor, folks. It's a bit of a strange replay. Here's Trippier to swing it in from the left back post. Header by Burn. This time he's off target. Goal kick.
Just watching Szoboszlai there. Here's the goal again. He gets taken out, doesn't he, Curtis Jones? Referee, I don't know whether you've even seen it, the referee. It's just that low one dragged back, isn't it, that goes in. Here's the cam. We've seen the referee's cam.
Struck that so well, didn't he? Perfectly placed by Gravenberch, past an unsighted Nick Pope. Here's Gravenberch winning the ball back off Guimaraes down the left. Deep in the Newcastle half. Gives it to Jones, who holds off Elanga. Good ball by Jones. Wirtz goes past a couple of players, goes down under a challenge from Trippier. Referee said Wirtz wasn't strong enough, no foul. Gordon at the other end plays it straight out of play for a throw.
This is a rude awakening for Wirtz. This is going to happen to him every week.
Arne Slot is incensed. He's saying that's the second time Wirtz has been fouled and he's not got one free kick. He's not happy, the Liverpool head coach.
I don't know if it was a foul on him that time. Trippier was just stronger, got in there, got his foot in, got on the ball.
Again, Ronnie, I would argue and say to you that in the Bundesliga he gets a free kick. In the Premier League he probably doesn't. So it's a different ball game in that sense. Szoboszlai fires it forward. Here's Salah, wins the ball in the Newcastle half. Good running by Wirtz on the outside right this time, the German. Surrounded by black and white shirts. Wirtz back towards Szoboszlai. Now Konate. Slowing the play down, turning away from Joe Linton. Final 5 minutes of the half. Liverpool in front. Alisson again. Playing it short to Szoboszlai. Turning it back towards...
That's Livramento gone again. All the way back there with Szoboszlai. That's your left back.
Big kick down the middle. Oh, Trippier mistake. Gakpo gets past him. Gakpo wants Curtis to get out the way. Great run by Gakpo. Salah, first time ball. Jones with a flick. Oh, he might have scored. He kisses the post in an angry way because I think Curtis feels he's got a big chance there.
He misses it completely, doesn't he? Yeah. Gakpo with a great run across the pitch. Sees Mo Salah.
Great ball by Mo.
Great ball into Salah, great ball across. Jones just gets his wrong foot on it. He tries to hit it with his right, misses it completely with his right. Mo not happy at all.
He just misses it, Curtis Jones. Mo is angry there because he knows if that goes in at 2-0, that's a big goal. Big chance for Curtis Jones. He just completely missed it. Yeah. Is it one of those runs sometimes you might take your eye off the ball a fraction?
It come funny for him, if you know what I mean. He's square on rather than sideways.
And he's trying to adjust his body to side-foot it in. Yeah. Big chance. Good play that by Cody Gakpo. He's strong there, Cody. On that left-hand side to set that one up. Livramento from the left for Newcastle. Plays it back to Joe Linton. Tonali, Barnes, left edge of the area. Trying to turn Szoboszlai, he won't let him. Still Harvey Barnes. Brilliant again by Szoboszlai. Goal kick. He's done so well, Dom. He's a good player, Harvey Barnes. And he's done really well, Szoboszlai.
Good decision then by the ref, or by the manager, Arne Slot, to play him there. The thing is, when you even look at that as well, with him playing there, if Gravenberch starts to feel tired, he can go in there and Conor Bradley can come on. So I'm sure Slot has thought about this.
Yeah, as I say, I think if needed, Bradley or Gomez will probably come on about 60, 65 minutes in this game, which I'm probably certain they will do. One of them will do. Here's Gakpo on the left-hand side. Trippier cleared it because I think at some point Arne might decide he might need Szoboszlai back in central midfield with that energy, especially if we stay leading. Good work by Wirtz, robs Joe Linton. Jones just on, but just overruns it. But it falls now for Guimaraes with a few Liverpool players out of position. Good ball wide left. Barnes.
Hold him up, don't foul him.
Szoboszlai holds him up. He must have listened to Ronnie. But the ball on the outside. Good work by Curtis Jones, who's come on this near side and he tackles Livramento. He's done really well, Curtis. And he clears it. Burns header. Salah gets there. Foul by Burn. Play on. Salah. Good hold-up play. Turning Burn. Newcastle all over him. There's a card coming out here for a Newcastle player for a foul on Mo Salah. It's Dan Burn.
He had a little swipe at him, didn't he? And Paul did well to get back up again.
Is that what you call persistent fouling by Burn there? You give him a yellow.
Well, he kept going, didn't he?
Yeah,
he has a swipe here.
Oof, that's a bad tackle, that first one.
Mo got straight up, but then Burns comes back in behind him, doesn't he?
Yeah. That was really good play from Mo Salah.
Tonali came as well.
Yeah. So Dan Burn Yellow card, first one for Newcastle tonight. Liverpool leading 1-0, last minute of the half. Ryan Gravenberch with a fine strike. I'll tell you what, he didn't score last season, but he played a major part in us winning the league.
Oh, most definitely.
He was one of our best players, wasn't he? Consistently. Van Dijk. Oh, Anthony Gordon with a reckless challenge on Virgil van Dijk.
Well, I don't know whether he slipped.
Another yellow card. Milos Kerkez is angry with the Newcastle players. He went right down his Achilles there, Ron, didn't he?
I don't know whether he slipped or not, because it is a ridiculous challenge, and it's got to be a red card if he's done it. The referee's got a yellow card in his hand. Now, this is...
They're going to check it, aren't they?
It might be because he slipped that he's only given him a yellow.
Virgil played the ball, and he might need treatment on his Achilles.
It's a disgraceful tackle.
Virgil clears the ball.
Oh, come on, referee.
That could be a red card. That could be a red card.
If you don't give a red card for that, that's disgraceful.
That's awful from Anthony Gordon. That is over the top.
And the referee's looking straight at it.
I think VAR might give a red here.
They have to. If they don't, the game's gone. The game's finished. People making tackles like that.
That's a disgrace.
The game's over. If he does not give, they don't go red here, the game's finished.
That's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, the referee's been told to go to the monitor by John Brooks. Anthony Gordon, I'm telling you now, Ronnie Whelan, we all know what's going to happen here. He's going to be shown a straight red card. There was always the possibility coming into this game, there was a thought in our minds that could happen, simply because of the way the press, all sorts of people were generating, trying to turn this game into like a cup final.
Tackle. It's
a
horrible
really
tackle.
poor challenge from Anthony Gordon.
It's high. It's on high up his back of his leg,
and I think
scraping down his calf. It's disgusting.
And I think John Brooks is going to tell Simon Hooper, I think it's a red card. You have a look at it, ref, and change your decision from a yellow to a red.
If this is not given, this is
that's
honestly
a really bad challenge.
I don't know how he's looking at it so
Folks,
long.
Ronnie Whelan, we were here before. Curtis Jones at Tottenham got sent off for a tackle less than that. Here we go. The referee blows the whistle. He says, monitor, this is going to be a red card for Anthony Gordon. He's going to be sent off here.
After review, the Newcastle United number 10 commits a serious foul play challenge. The challenge to speed and commits clear contact on the Liverpool.
Referee is talking and you can hear.
My final decision is red card for Newcastle United number 10.
Gordon off. Straight red.
You can make no other decision. It's the most ridiculous, stupid challenge anyway.
Yeah, and the Newcastle fans aren't happy, but to be fair, I thought the referee, to give him his due, that new rule is working, I thought he explained that really well.
Yeah, he did. He had no other way to explain it.
No.
It's what he did. It was a reckless, horrible challenge.
So Anthony Gordon red carded for Newcastle United. He's meant to be a big Liverpool fan as well. We nearly signed him last summer.
Yeah, well,
but it's the crowd, isn't it? Getting them all. The players are desperate. Like I've said, there was always a real danger coming into this game. We hope Virgil is all right. He's back on his feet again.
All right. The sock you can see is ripped down the back. It was right down the back of his leg. But we had players early on getting carried away by it all. We have 2 yellow cards, remember?
Yeah.
But getting carried away by the whole atmosphere of this. And Anthony Gordon has completely lost it.
Yeah, he completely lost the plot there, Ron. That's the best way to describe it. There's no complaining, there's no controversy there. That is VAR working exactly the way it should work.
Yes, very good. But it's just the right decision, basically.
So Liverpool leading 1-0 and Newcastle United down to 10 men, with Anthony Gordon shown a straight red card.
The thing is, the crowd are going to more get on the referee's back here. Like, silly again by Gakpo, run straight into Trippier. There was no need for that. I don't know why he does it, because it's bringing all the crowd back into the game. Just let him head it.
You know
Pick
what?
it up in midfield.
You know what, Ron, and you said exactly a good point there. The game's gone. If that hadn't been a red, there's no debate on that. There's no debate on that. He was late, and it was a poor challenge. It was a really poor challenge. Nick Pope with the goal kick for Newcastle, fires it upfield. Virgil van Dijk heads it away. We didn't even hear how much stoppage time was getting played, but that's been extended. 2 minutes it was, but it's been extended because of the red card. Szoboszlai at right back, pulls it back to Konate. He'll turn it square towards Alisson. Newcastle basically now are playing with Alanga and Barnes as auxiliary number 9s, if you like. They're not playing wide now. They've got no choice with Gordon sent off.
Yeah, they have a bit of work to do at half-time, don't they, Newcastle, to try and sort it out how they're going to play second half.
I have to say, I'm really disappointed with Anthony Gordon there. I quite like him as a player, and I thought that was really poor. And he's rightly been punished. Now Szoboszlai on the ball for Liverpool, deep inside his own half. Liverpool leading 1-0 against the 10 men. Konate.
It's probably going to have to be Harvey Barnes goes up front, and Lange probably going to have to be taken off and then come in with a different midfielder. That's why they probably worked that. That's not Liverpool's problem, is it?
Over the top, Salah, right edge of the penalty area. Salah running at Livramento, trying to nick it inside to Florian Wirtz. It's cleared away. Half-time boos ring around St James's Park. High drama. We thought there would be tonight. Liverpool in front. Ryan Gravenberch with a tremendous shot from just outside the box. Low give. Goalkeeper Nick Pope rooted on his line, no chance. Then a big incident at the end of the half. Virgil van Dijk cleared the ball. Anthony Gordon went right in on him on his Achilles lower ankle. Straight red card after a VAR intervention. The referee addressed the crowd, told them what happened. Straight red. It's Newcastle 0, Liverpool 1.
now. Why can't we?
The last season is you can battle with Haaland and the way he played last year and the way he played the year before, but I think he's up there with, if not the best striker in the league at the moment. And I think that's why people are upset at Newcastle, because you're about to lose if not the best striker with Haaland, obviously, like I mentioned before, in the league. So it's kind of weird seeing it from afar. Myself, do I rate him? Yes, obviously I rate him. I think he's a great striker, what he can give you off and on the ball, the way he finishes also. But you know, when you have a player in this type of situation at his club where he wants to leave, it's because he's good that people are getting upset. Because when a player is not good and a club wants him out, I don't see anyone crying for the player. So I can understand the fans and the club. I also can understand him. The only thing that I said, looking at everyone talking about it, you always put yourself in a situation as a player where people might not understand if you don't come to training. This is something that's very, very difficult for people to understand, but obviously they must have said something to him. Newcastle replied. You always hear that. You've had it before in your team.
She said at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Do we know the whole story? No, we will never know the whole story. All I say is that at one point you cannot put yourself in a situation when you don't come to train.
So how do you see this resolving itself? Do you think it can in the next week? Is there a situation where he stays at Newcastle and comes back and welcomed back into the squad?
I think for me, in an ideal world, the best thing for him is, I think for everybody, is if he can leave. But I also do believe that when someone makes a mistake, if it sees as a mistake after from his dressing room, if he apologizes, then we can move on. If he scores goals and he starts to play the same way he played last year, the Newcastle fans will be okay about it. The best for me right now, the way it is, and you dealt with that with Torres, because we talked about it before, is I think the best for Liverpool and Newcastle is if he goes. But I do think also if someone does apologize, if it's seen as a mistake because we don't know what has been said inside the camp, I will accept it if I was a player, but he needs to apologise if he wants to come back.
I'm not sure that Newcastle fans will agree with you, Thierry, that the best thing is for him to go. And
let's
have a look at some of the reasons why, because Eddie Howe, it seems, is desperate to keep him, and so are a lot of the Newcastle fans, despite what's happened. They are the Newcastle goals, the top scorers, since Isak made his debut, and look at his contribution to the cause. He's been such a big part of this success story, returning Newcastle to the Champions League, not just once, but twice. And delivering their first major trophy for 70 years as well. But what happens when he's not there? Well, it feels like there's a narrative building around this as well. The last 4 games they've taken 2 points from without Isak. They haven't actually scored in those last 4 games. Just one this season, and that was the opening weekend goalless draw at Aston Villa. But even in that game, they had 16 shots, 47 overall, 11 of which were on target, and that XG creeping up almost towards 6. They might have been expected to score 6 goals. They haven't scored a single one. Is that why he is so highly prized by Newcastle United?
Not just highly prized by Newcastle, I think around the world and the league. This is why Liverpool are looking to break the bank for him, if you like. But I was speaking to Thierry before. I think Isak is seen as a better player than he actually is, because there's such a dearth of great strikers around the world and in the Premier League. I think if you went back to sort of Thierry's days, I think there would be 6 or 7 Isaks in the Premier League sort of playing, sort of for the top clubs. But at this moment, as I said, there aren't many top centre forwards out there right now. Newcastle know that. They've tried to, sign so many. And for Liverpool, there's just one who they want. And I think that just tells you where we are with the central strikers in the world right now.
Come and have a look at these graphics, guys, because the other player that's linked to this story is Hugo Ekitike, a player that Newcastle United tried to sign and that Liverpool did. What's really interesting is when we look at Opta's striker profiling here, and these are their 2 profiles
side by side. And Opta have taken the data from the last 10 years of football across Europe's 5 major leagues. And the one player that is closest to Ekitike in profiling in all of those, an 84% match, is Alexander Isak, which is pretty incredible. And this is, I suppose, showing us the data of an out-and-out striker. You'd expect the high XG, and should point out as well that the closer you are to the outer line, the closer you are to the elite. So high XG for both. High concentration of shots and touches in the opposition box where they feature less. Both is around winning aerial balls and winning the ball back from the opposition as well, but both doing well in terms of progressive carries. Neither gets involved too much in build-ups, as you can see. It's quite incredible, isn't it? It's like a mirror looking at these two, but they do also create chances, the both of them. Is a bit of the problem for Newcastle United is that maybe they might have been thinking on the lines, we might have to sell Isak if the price is right. We'll get this guy who is such a close match to him, but then Liverpool got him.
Yeah. And that's why I think Newcastle initially, I think in the back of the mind with the discussions that they've been having with Isak, it seems maybe for the last sort of 6 or 7 months, thinking there's a good chance he might go next summer. How can we replicate what he gives us? He's the carbon copy. Newcastle going for Ekitike, Liverpool right on the phone. If you're going for him, does that mean you're selling Isak? No, we're not. Maybe that's a bargaining position from Newcastle initially, a month or so, 6 weeks ago. So Liverpool go for the next best thing in terms of, the stats, the data. We know Liverpool like to use that. So Liverpool get him, but still Liverpool wants Alexander Isak. And I just can't help think and think back to those days, probably 6 weeks ago, when you think, I think the world would be a lot calmer, or certainly it would be probably a lot less ferocious in St James's Park tonight if Hugo Ekitike was playing for Newcastle, Alexander Isak was playing for Liverpool.
An 84% match according to the Opta profiling. I mentioned the Newcastle fan reaction as well, because this has a part to play in this. And we've teamed up with Fanalysis this season to help us gauge fan opinion of all 20 Premier League clubs. So we asked Newcastle fans the question here, would you like to see Isak play for Newcastle again? Pretty split, Thierry, I think you'd have to say. Yes, 58% would welcome him back. But it feels like he's also burnt some bridges as well. 42% saying they don't want to see him play for Newcastle again. What about Liverpool fans? We've asked them as well. You'll be less surprised probably with this. Do you want to see Liverpool sign Alexander Isak? And 87% say absolutely yes. Suppose when we've compared the profiling, Thierry, if Liverpool fans want Isak, would you go as far to say they actually need Alexander Isak this season?
Yes, it's a different need of a team that maybe plays at the bottom or in the middle of the table. It's because if you play in all competition, you need to have 2 very good strikers. One that's coming up, which is Hugo Ekitike, and if you manage to get Isak, you can get one of the best striker in your league. But I go back to the Man United treble, and I know I go back to tactic, obviously 4-4-2, and not a lot of teams that play with 2 strikers. But you had York and Cole and Sheringham and Solskjaer on the bench. What is it? I don't think that it will be crazy if you have an outstanding striker and a very good one also on the bench. 1-for-1. Do you understand what I mean? It's just for me, if you want to play in all competition, if you look at the squad that we had at Barcelona, the squad that won Champions League recently, look at the front three and look at what's on the bench also. So I do think it's a need if you want to perform in all the competitions.
The problem for Newcastle United right now is they don't have a single available centre forward. The reports this afternoon that Jurgen Strand-Larsen from Wolves is their big target, and Wolves have rejected a £50 million bid from Newcastle. They're saying he is going nowhere because it's too late to find a replacement. With all that in mind, Jamie, does it feel more and more unlikely that Isak will be going anywhere?
I'm not sure. I still think it's a toss of a coin. And
do you think the timing of this game was significant too?
Yeah, I don't think a deal was ever going to get done before this game. I couldn't see that. It'll be interesting what happens in the next few days. For me, I can't believe that Liverpool, it's just Isak or no one, but it does feel like that the closer we are getting to the end of the window. Now, Thierry just said that it's almost like a must for Liverpool to sign Isak. I've never been of that opinion, so I'm one of the sort of few Liverpool fans who are probably not all in on has to be Isak. We have to spend this money. And I've mentioned those reasons why I don't think he's as durable as maybe a Mo Salah. Actually, in the last 3 seasons, he's missed 36 league games. It's almost a season out of 3 seasons he's been at Newcastle. But what I'm going to say is now, this is not because I'm...
Salah, little flick around the corner. Wirtz plays in Ekitike. 2 players we asked to come into the game. They have done straight away. Ball's played to Gakpo, gets a shot away, it's blocked. Ekitike. He places it in the bottom corner.
He's scoring goals like your old mate Aldo did for Liverpool. Can't stop scoring. 3 and 3.
It's a side foot coming across his body, and it goes in off the bottom of the post. Goalkeeper's not getting near it. What a start. What a great start in the second half for Liverpool.
Brilliant. That's so important, that, Ronnie. Curtis Jones nearly doubled the lead. Hugo
Slot's missed the goal.
The Slot missed that.
Connor Bradley's missed it. He's only coming out behind him as well.
Honor must have been to the loo. Coming out late. Now at the other end, a big roar goes up for a challenge on Barnes, but not given. Newcastle up to yellow card for Guimaraes. Newcastle are in danger of boarding over here. But Liverpool leading 2-0. Bruno yellow carded.
This is what you love to see. The crowd have got annoyed by this. Ibu just... I don't know how referees don't give free kicks for that, because he has pushed him over. But the good part is he didn't get it. Guimaraes has got all upset. He's got a yellow card.
But again, Konate leading a charmed life there again. Silly on a yellow card. You've got to cut that out.
You're 2-0 up now to 10 men. Can you make a change? Can you put Gomez on centre back? Because it could happen. And you just don't want them getting anything out of this game now.
Arne Slot missed the goal. And he come out and he said, wow, who scored? So someone probably said to him, guess. And the answer would be Hugo Ekitike. You can't stop scoring as a Liverpool player.
See, these have gone with 2 up. These have got 2 up front now. That leaves an awful lot of space for Liverpool players to be able to break into.
You know, all of his 3 Liverpool goals so far, very different types of goals. Good. Now Trippier trips up Gakpo. That's his 4th foul of the game, and he still escapes a yellow card.
They're getting frustrated now, Newcastle players. Yeah. Trippier's all right. Tonali's the one who's getting involved. It's what you want as a Liverpool player.
It is. It certainly is. Cody Gakpo did brilliantly for that goal, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
When he was strong there again.
A lovely little pass as well, wasn't it, to Ekitike?
Yeah, did well. So, Gravenberch and Ekitike on the mark, 2-0. Now Florian Wirtz on the left wing over this free kick for Liverpool.
Gakpo was walking away there from Wirtz. Just wait and come back out into that little space where the Trippier would be.
Yeah, and he's gone central, Trippier. So can Wirtz produce a good delivery? He rips it back post. Van Dijk is there. Heads it on. Burn heads it clear. Giovanni Leone, the 18-year-old new Italian, warming up for Liverpool at the moment. Salah. Back to Gravenberch. Now Szoboszlai. Gravenberch again.
So Liverpool are in no rush here. So for me, this is the best way to do it. Just play it around. One of the Newcastle players will move, but don't be silly and all go attacking.
Virgil van Dijk on the halfway line for Liverpool. Back to Milos Kerkez. Out wide to Wirtz on the left. Behind him is Curtis Jones. Infield to Gravenberch. Rolls it to Konate on the outside right. Good ball to Szoboszlai, getting forward in the attack. Salah, brilliant reverse ball. Szoboszlai's in the box. Low cross, and Fabian Schär clears it with Florian Wirtz closing in.
He's got to make a run, Wirtz. He's got to get across Schär.
Throw in on the right side.
Curtis Jones just stretching his hamstrings. Hopefully he's all right.
Coming to St James's, Ronnie. Good memories of your old mate Stevie Nicol.
Hat-trick, yeah. Once. Right back, scoring a hat-trick.
Brilliant. Mirandinha made his Newcastle debut. The Brazilian. Remember him up front? Now Gravenberch in the middle of the park. He couldn't get past Gary Gillespie that time. Kirkes down the line to Jones. Rolls it back to Gravenberch again. There's space opening up here. Liverpool doubling their lead straight after the restart. Konate. Good ball at better. To the left to Kirkes. Curtis Jones with some space. Gakpo out wide on the left, running at Trippier. Dinks it into the middle. Kirkes made a good run, cleared. Wirtz wins it back before Joelinton. Good header by Gakpo. Gravenberch gives it back to his captain on the halfway line. Good ball, stretches the play. Szoboszlai outside right to Salah. Ekitike gets it. Little flick. Back to Szoboszlai again. Drills it, crossfield ball, but it's too far and it goes out of play.
It's a silly ball, it really is. You've got Newcastle backing up, you've got them all under pressure, and then you play a silly little ball away and let them have an attack now.
A crossfield ball which wasn't a very good one. Good tracking back by Curtis Jones with the deflection. Ali's out of his goal, outside of his right foot. Volleys the ball clear. Ekitike beaten in the air by Sher. Trippier down the line. In comes Kirkes, gets there first. Now Jones in midfield. Bit loose with the pass. Gravenberch battling with Guimaraes. Gravenberch did brilliantly there. Konate carries it forward, gives it to Szoboszlai. Salah in space, outside right. Wirtz making a good run. Salah turning Livramento. Lovely ball in the box. Ekitike turns. Wirtz, lovely football. Back to Ekitike in the box again. Guimaraes is strong, gets back at Ekitike. It's one of those that Ekitike didn't realise that he was behind him, and Newcastle clear.
Ekitike he's given the foul against because he pulled someone back.
Joelinton.
Look, Joelinton and
Tonali
Tonali
are pushing Ekitike.
Frustration with Newcastle players. We could have made a bit more of that. It looked all lovely football, little flicks here and there, but we end up losing it, and then Newcastle break out again.
Yeah, so Newcastle 0, Liverpool 2, with Anthony Gordon shown a straight red card for the foul on Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool don't need to do anything daft now, just game management's here now. They've got the extra man advantage, keep control of it.
What's wrong with Tonali?
Tonali has hurt his shoulder, I think. Joelinton is still mouthing to the referee, and he's still not been booked. I think Tonali has damaged his shoulder here.
There was a coming together with Ekitike, which we didn't see. Now, Joelinton is clapping the referee's incompetence, you would say. But it looks like Tonali's done something to his shoulder in that tackle.
Yeah, he's hurt, the Italian. The physio is needed. You know what, you can exactly see what the Newcastle players are trying to do here. They're trying to even it up.
Oh yes,
play
most
to
definitely.
The crowd with the ref.
Yeah,
and saying, hey, Ekitike's done something.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can.
Yeah. If that was you, Ronnie, you'd just be giving it back to them, wouldn't you?
There's the sending off. What a silly tackle by Anthony Gordon. I don't know where it came from. You can see the stud marks. We see the stud marks right down the
Virgil van
back.
Dijk, we've just seen a close-up of the stud marks, and that's bad.
And he's took it very well.
He's took it very well. Anthony Gordon's seen the damage, and I think he's realised what he's done there. He apologised to Virgil, but the damage had been done.
Yeah, but he's going off. Virgil will have a sore calf tomorrow, but he'll get over it.
So whether Tonali can continue with his shoulder problem remains to be seen. Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall on the bench in deep discussion.
We've got to try and they're trying to think that how do we get something out of this?
As the Liverpool fans singing songs in St James's Park.
Was it for Chiesa? No, I think it's this. This was the one I want to see, because him and Tonali come together here. Look, he's landed on his shoulder, but it's like he's jumped over it, isn't it, Tonali? He's hurt himself.
Ekitike hasn't exactly thrown him to the floor in bad style.
He's hurt himself by diving.
Himself there, yeah. He has. They've got to be careful, the Newcastle players. They're getting incensed. They've already got 10 men. Joelinton is really treading a fine line.
Yeah, I'd like to see
some of his fouling up.
I'd like to see something happen. I know you don't want substitutions when everything's going all right, but you have to be careful that.
Yeah. How long have we played? We played 10 minutes in the second half, and Konate heads one away, goes straight out of play for a Newcastle throw. over the far side. Which Livramento at left back, deep inside Liverpool territory.
You can stay there all day if the referee hadn't time.
Still takes his time over the throw-in. Header away by Gravenberg. Puts it out of play. The Newcastle throw. Sort of level with the Liverpool penalty area here on the left, which maybe Tonali's back on the pitch after treatment on that top of his left shoulder. Looks like Livramento's trying to prepare a long throw here. Dan Burn has come forward. Konate is marking Dan Burn as we speak. But long throws always cause problems. Here we go again. And it goes. Good header by Gravenberg. Back out to Livramento. Right foot. Crosses it back in. Header by Guimaraes, who scored! We've given a goal away. Bruno Guimaraes with a header, and it's 2-1. And again, these games are only reeling at the moment. We just can't keep a clean sheet.
It's all so asleep. People fall asleep all over the place. It's just a ball chipped into the box. It's so easy to deal with for a centre-back or a full-back. Gakpo loses share on the front. Kerkez is on the back post.
Livramento with the cross.
Kerkez is just trying to hold him off and not head the ball. Go and head the ball. He's got to go and head it.
Yeah, I think Kerkez has to do better there. Came in between him and Gravenberg, didn't he? No, Cody Gakpo it was.
He's just trying to hold him off and be strong. He's just got to go and head the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Poor goal to concede that. But Bruno Guimaraes with a header after a long throw was only half cleared. And it's game on again. 2-1. Kerkez runs past Elanga. Gakpo caught by Guimaraes.
How many can he do?
Again, he screams at the referee. On a slot, just shouting one or two instructions to the players again. Just a slight worry that we're conceding goals at the moment.
Too easy. There's not like they're hard goals.
It's frustrating though.
Not like it's great play from the team.
We need to tighten up again, don't we? Be more menacing again.
Definitely.
But Newcastle with the 10 men are back in it. The ground's alive again, thanks to that Bruno Guimaraes header. You still get the feeling that Liverpool can score again in this game. Ekitike with a flick over the top. Gakpo arriving late, but Trippier heads it back to his goalkeeper Nick Pope.
It's given them a huge lift, this goal, Newcastle. The crowd have started again. The crowd are going to be shouting and screaming for every foul, every free kick. Yeah. Liverpool have got to.
And Newcastle have gone long down the middle. Good by Konate against Harvey Barnes. Good defending, good header. Weerts to Van Dijk. Weerts was flattened by Tonali. Free kick Liverpool. But he's almost like Newcastle's talisman, isn't he, Bruno Guimaraes? The Brazilian.
Kerkez is not even
flick
looking
header
at the ball. He's just.
It wasn't great by Kerkez defending, I agree.
Puts you under so much pressure again.
Yeah. Van Dijk for Liverpool. Good ball to the right to Szoboszlai. Salah, Weerts makes a run on the outside. Ekitike turning edge of the area. Weerts, good feet. But there's Guimaraes who wins it back. Good ball towards Harvey Barnes, who runs on the right. Curtis Jones is after him. Now it's gone across. Van Dijk kicks it off the Newcastle player. Liverpool throw. Good defending.
Yeah, nice. Easy, wasn't come across. All things covered.
As we approach the hour mark, needs to get another one, Ronnie.
Yes,
get
definitely.
The goal cushion again.
Yeah.
Which we're very much capable of. Kerkez still taking his time over the throw for Liverpool here. Towards Ekitike. Share all over him. Ekitike hits the deck. The Liverpool throw in. He's getting a lot of stick, Ekitike, from the Newcastle fans, but he silenced them at the start of the second half with a good goal. The referee is telling Milos Kerkez to get on with the throwing. He says you're taking too long with these throw-ins.
Andy Robbo get warmed up.
He's got a case, I guess, hasn't he? Short to Weerts. Kerkez will thump it forward. the pressure from Elanga.
Tonali's gone down with his shoulder again.
Yeah, he's gone down again. There's a loose ball. Joel Linton's charging. Konate deals with him. Ball goes out of play. Now, referee's pulled it back because Tonali is on the floor injured. He can't continue. So Newcastle are going to have to make a change here. He's holding his head now. He's claiming he was caught by Florian Wirtz.
Then he falls on his...
with a stray hand. With a stray hand.
He falls on his shoulder then, look, sore shoulder.
Yeah, he's fell on his shoulder. He's back on his feet again.
He's just trying to get him sent off. It's just...
We've got to be a bit careful here, Ronnie. Some of the things that you can
it's
trying here. They're getting every trick in the book.
They have to be more professional than that, Liverpool. Can't do anything. Don't go into silly tackles. Just...
Tonali's back on his feet again. Still wants to play on. He fell on his shoulder, didn't he? I think that's what it was. Now, far side, Livramento down the left with a throw. Forward it goes. Joel Linton with a flick on into the box. Konate heads it away. Gravenberch at right back with a complete miss kick. Joel Linton holds him off. Giant of a midfield player, Joel Linton. And now they're having another long throw, Newcastle. These are different tactics. Livramento's long throws causing some problems here. And again, it's one from the left-hand side by the corner flag. We've just got to try and get hold of the ball again. Virgil van Dijk is screaming at his teammates for organisation there.
They've got enough bodies in there to go and try and win a header.
It's Livramento again to take that throw-in into the near post. Van Dijk heads it up in the air. Burn heads it across straight to Alisson. It got out. It's gone for a corner. I think, has it? Yeah, it's gone for a corner.
How can these things cause us so many problems? It's just like it's a big fright for Liverpool players.
Yeah.
No, they're going to take a long throw. Can't deal with it. What are we going to do?
Corner kick for Newcastle United. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. 63 minutes gone. Newcastle are really putting us under the cosh despite them having a less man advantage. Burn at the moment is being marked by Mo Salah as it comes in. Alisson had to beat it away. Good goalkeeping. Great punch. Great goalkeeping by Alisson Becker there. Under immense pressure. Burn with an overhead kick. Back in the box. Joel Linton's there. Konate clears. We're under the cosh here, Ronnie Whalen.
Yeah, we can't... Like we're just all over the place, 6s and 7s, balls coming in the box that they cannot deal with it.
Ekitike lashes it away. It's going to be another Newcastle long throw. That was a dangerous ball bent in by Trippier. Nearly went straight in, and Alisson did well, not once but twice.
Lucky he didn't get caught in the net as well.
Yeah. Did well, Ali. I don't know whether Arna might decide to change something soon. Newcastle getting that lifeline of a goal back. Are putting us under immense pressure here in the second half. Referee spotted some pushing going on with Burn. We've got to be careful of this because, as we saw in the United Fulham game yesterday, these are getting clamped down now. Cummins together, shall we say, in the box. There has to be some form of contact.
Put two big ones there and move one back a bit so if the ball's flicked on, at least we can get the next one.
I mean, Burn and Joel Linton have both come to that near post. It's launched into Burn, flicks the header on. Liverpool could break now. Szoboszlai. Oh, Mo Salah was nearly in, but it's cleared. And then Gravenberch panicked and kicks it out for another long throw. Van Dijk can't believe it. Holds his head in his hands.
And Cher thinks he's been dragged to the ground.
We were breaking there.
It was Gakpo.
Cody Gakpo with him. I don't think there's much in that for you.
No. But then the thing is, we break. Mo Salah breaks down the left and we give it away again.
Looks like Newcastle are going to make a change. Will it be Tonali who might have to go off? But it's going to be another long throw for Newcastle United here. I think that change is going to be made yet. Tonali is going off, and one of the young lads has come through their ranks. Lewis Miley, straight replacement for him in midfield. So Lewis Miley comes on. One of the local lads have come through their academy. Into midfield. Getting the nod over Jacob Ramsey.
Well, he was the big one, wasn't he? A year or two ago,
Yeah.
Miley's playing really,
These
really
long
well.
throws are causing us problems here.
Huge.
This time it's from the right. Livramento launches it in. Up go the heads. Kerkez defends it well, but then doesn't realise that Fabian Scherer's taking it off him. Don't dive in, Milos. Dangerous ball in, and brilliant clearance on the ground by Konate, and Van Dijk smashes it clear. We need to get the ball here and do some counter-attacking, because, I know it shouldn't happen when a team has 10 men, but we've been there before, haven't we, at St James's Park?
We
in that
need to get
Darwin
hold
Nunez
of it
game.
and show that we've got more men. This is just all grabbing, isn't it?
Grabbing and stuff going on in that box there. Coming together with Gravenberch there and Joelinton. Joelinton's arms are in the way as well, aren't they?
Everybody's out. How you can pick out one, I don't know, but this was a great clearance, wasn't it?
Yeah. All I'll say, Ronnie, you've got to be careful in there, haven't you? Again,
we give it away again.
Give
We
it
have to
away
throw
again.
in.
It's so sloppy here at the moment, but Newcastle putting us under real pressure. Guimaraes, good tackle by Gakpo. Guimaraes goes on the floor, picks himself up. Good tackle by Gravenberch. Ekitike done really well, unlucky. Couldn't quite keep it in play down the left. Goes out for a throw. Joe Gomez warming up for Liverpool as we speak. 22 minutes gone in the second half. Dietz charges down Burns' clearance. It comes back to Gravenberch. Liverpool go forward. Down the line, Dietz will chase. Putting Burn under pressure. Burn, Dietz does well. Burn puts it out for a Liverpool throw. That was good.
Yeah, Dietz just let him go and kick it. Give Liverpool a throw in high up the pitch. We need to start getting control of the game again. We started off the second half control, keep it passing nice and easy. But then we give away a silly goal and we just seemed so under pressure.
Van Dijk, good ball, centrally. Gravenberch turning, Guimaraes, good switch. Now Salah, just outside the box. Szoboszlai makes a great run. Not a great ball by Salah, cut out by Joelinton. Salah gets it back though, fortunately. Newcastle cannot counter there. Jones to his left, to Kerkez. Outside left, Cody Gakpo. Kerkez goes on. Good run, Gakpo's cross. Doesn't find anybody, drifts out for a goal kick.
We want to be a bit more controlled than that, don't we? Just coming in and flicking balls into the box. We want to get hold of the ball, more passes in midfield. You know, just get them running about.
Should you make any changes, Ronnie?
Yeah, I would. I'm frightened of still frightened of the 2 yellow cards. I know the manager will say, well, we're all under control, but we just need one of them to go off now. I know they have the yellow cards, but...
Nick Pope with a goal kick. Liverpool lead 2-1. Gravenberch and Ekitike with the goals. Now Van Dijk at the other end, turning away. Back to Gakpo on the outside left, cutting inside Guimaraes. Jones inside his own half, holds off Miley. Back to Ali, Allison, good kick. Szoboszlai at right back. Deep inside his own territory. Back to Konate again. Now Jones. Driving forward. Kerkez. Back to Jones. Van Dijk turning away from Elanga. Allison, Jones. Liverpool playing it around the edge of the penalty area. With Newcastle pressing. Always dangerous, Ronnie.
Yeah, but if you can play
Dietz now.
If you can get out like this.
That's nice by Dietz. He spread the play. Szoboszlai in acres of space. Salah out wide on the right. Dietz in the middle. Salah cuts inside. Ball in. Gakpo looks up, but he's not going to get on the end of that as it goes out of play.
See, 2 balls like that.
Overhit by Mo.
But 2 balls like that. Salah that time. There was one earlier as well, just flicked into the box by Gakpo. It's not the balls for now. I keep saying the same thing, but we have a man more. Let's keep passing it and dragging them out. We don't have to keep flicking them into the box.
Dietz made a great run there, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he set that up. Great ball that wide to Salah.
Yeah. Pace on is good, isn't it?
It was. 20 minutes left. Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. Here it's the James's Park. Big kick forward by Nick Pope. Up towards Elanga. Good header by the captain again. Big Verge. Ekitike's back heel blocked by Share. Liverpool throw. Right by the dugout. which Milos Kerkez will take.
Yeah, he's got to be careful as well with the throw-ins, because he's been warned by the ref.
Taking his time again.
We'll get on with it now.
We'll have to take it. Still Kerkez. Thrown towards Ekatike down the left-hand side. Gakpo, but Share.
We're not winning battles either.
We're not. Ball's back with the goalkeeper. Back out to Fabian Share on the near side. Big kick forward. Down the middle. Van Dijk takes charge. Gives it back to Szoboszlai. Van Dijk again. At the back for Liverpool. Rolls it to his left to Milos Kerkez. Kerkez all the way back to Van Dijk, to Konate, out to Szoboszlai. Salah out wide on the right. Jones has made a good run on the outside right for him. Back to Szoboszlai, but we retain possession.
Yeah, we keep possession, but play it quick. Do it a little bit quicker. That's 2, 3, 4 passes, 4 touches. I know they talk about dragging people in, but these are not going to come in. So switch it quicker. Get it out here now to the left back, and then get them running across, then come back out the other side. It's just too slow and ponderous at the moment.
Szoboszlai for Liverpool, driving on. Salah out wide. Viet's making a run for him on the outside. Liverpool going back again, but retain possession. Square to Virgil van Dijk. Into Jones, turning away from Barnes. Konate out to the right to Szoboszlai. Viet's. In many ways, it's not bad making Newcastle players chase shadows, and with 10 men, it's not easy, but we can't do anything daft in our own half. Here's Van Dijk down the line on the left. Gakpo chested it down, but away from Ekatike. Guimaraes, good tackle by Kerkez, he won the ball. Now Ekatike leading a break. There's a wrong pass. He should have given it to Salah, and he give it away. In comes Gravenberch with Joe Linton.
An awful
Free
ball.
kick Newcastle.
It's an awful ball by Ekatike.
Yeah.
You know, when you have it and you've kept it for so long, you've done really, really well. And now you're looking for someone to play the proper pass. And he gives it away again. He looks as if he's done his groin. Joe Linton, could be that stretch.
I think it was just a coming together with Gravenberch that time, wasn't it?
Nothing to do with Gravenberch.
No.
Something, could be when he's planted his left foot. Something's gone. It seems as if something in his groin is gone.
Yeah, he stretched a bit there, the Brazilian. Joe Linton's down, getting treatment. We've got 17 minutes left of the game. Liverpool leading 2-1. Gravenberch fired Liverpool in front. Anthony Gordon, a shocking challenge on Virgil van Dijk, straight red after a VAR intervention. And then Liverpool, great start to the second half, scoring straight from the kickoff. Ugo Ekatike again, 3-3. And Bruno Guimaraes heading in to pulling a goal back for Newcastle.
No, we just got to. Liverpool have got to do things better all round. That's the goal from Gravenberch. There's too many passes going astray, isn't there? There's too many silly balls. That was a good little ball from Gakpo,
Nice
wasn't it?
assist
Into
from
Ekatike.
Yeah.
But this is just nothing. No defending.
For you, Kerkez has to do better on that
Oh,
goal,
I
don't
think
you?
you've got to go and head it.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to be strong, say, look how strong I am, and then he's the same size. He's not like he's 6'4".
Just head it away.
Yeah, just go and head it.
Yeah.
That's your job done then.
Yeah. So Joe Linton is struggling. He won't continue, Ronnie.
You know what?
He's done
I might have
something
been better keeping him on because he was getting tired. Now there's a fresh pair of legs coming on.
Yeah, and it looks like, is it Jacob Ramsey? 3 changes for Newcastle. They're going to bring on a Danish young forward, William Asula. And Lewis Hall, the left back, is going to come on. Joe Linton almost in tears as he's going off. Whether he's picked up something serious there, I don't know.
It's not like it's sore.
2 big injuries for that Newcastle today, isn't it? Joe Linton and Tonali. Two big players in midfield for them. And a triple change. Asula, a striker from Denmark. Hall. And Jacob Ramsey, new signing from Aston Villa. Are going to come on here for Eddie Howe. Making the changes. One of them enforced through Joe Linton. And the other changes Lewis Hall and Osula. He's a big forward, him, the young lad. He's trying to get the scoreboard working. It's not working at the moment. I'm not sure who to take off, so this is going to add on some minutes. Trippier off, Hall on, so that will see Hall go to left back. Livramento will go straight to right back. That's a positional change, and Osula will take the place of Harvey Barnes. You have to say, Dominic Szoboszlai has had a great game against Barnes.
Yeah, he has done very, very well.
Hardly had a kick, Harvey Barnes, tonight. And William Osula, a striker coming on for Newcastle. So
they've go up front with the other big ones.
Yeah, there's big lads, haven't they, on the field here now. Eddie Howe making those changes. Final 14 of normal time. But that was quite a delay, that, with Joe Linton's injury.
I think there'll be a bit of time added on, a good bit.
Yeah, and Lewis Hall just come on. Will take a free kick from the halfway line. Plants it long into the box. Big Virgil van Dijk gets his head to it. And now Jones leading a counter. He's done well, Curtis. He's done brilliantly. Now he's going forward. He beats his man. Jones. It's a good run. He holds off Osula. Through ball. I thought he was dragged back there, Curtis, you know. Maybe should have gone down. And what's going on here? Fabian Schär has gone down injured in the penalty area, the Liverpool penalty area. And player's been held up.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened, did we? But
it's going to add the time on at the end.
Yeah, but Kanate was running over to the touchline to tell them to get on. Yeah, he's telling them he's pointed where he's hurt. So he's okay, really.
Swiss international Fabian Schär. So Liverpool here leading 2-1. Newcastle have complained about everything tonight.
The complaint about was a head injury and he let it go on for so long.
But it's the referee's fault then, isn't it? Then the linesman, I guess. From the Van Dijk clearance, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, let's just hope he's all right. It seems to be banging the side of the head.
Yeah,
got some ice on it, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got some ice on his head. Fabian Schär. The likelihood is he'll probably have to come off.
If he's like that, yeah, you would have
Liverpool
to
are making some changes here. Connor Bradley, Federico Chiesa are getting ready to come on. Chiesa scored at Wembley, didn't he, against Newcastle? But the more important goal was the one last week at Anfield. Good to see Connor back.
Yeah,
when you pick
up
a hamstring in pre-season, you worry a bit, don't you? How long it's going to be out for?
It's hard on the kid, isn't it? He comes back and he's looking okay, everything's fit again, and then something else goes, something goes.
You've got to be careful with those hamstrings, haven't you?
I was never that quick. Here's the clash of heads.
You used to just stop the opposition, didn't you?
So it was an elbow. It's just got a stray elbow.
Yeah.
He's run into it himself, really.
The big Verge was strong there, wasn't he? The back fours.
Got up higher than anybody to get it away. And as I say, Schär did run into his elbow trying to jump at it.
So Bradley and Chiesa, whether he might take a midfield player off, put Szoboszlai back for that energy for the final stages into central midfield.
I think he's trying to get energy around.
It'll be interesting who comes off here with Connor. I imagine Chiesa will replace Ekatike. But we are waiting. Liverpool on a slot. No, it's Florian Wirtz who will go off first. And Ekatike off as well. So Wirtz and Ekatike off. Connor Bradley will come on at right back. Szoboszlai will go midfield. And Chiesa down the middle. What do you think of Wirtz? Some nice touches in the second half.
Yeah. And he had a bit more room, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because of the 10 men.
Yeah.
There's still a lot more.
Scoring again.
Yeah, he scored again. You can't ask much more from centre forward, can you?
Doing the business. 10 minutes to go with normal time. Liverpool lead 2-1. Chiesa on after that wonderful moment from him at Anfield last week. That looks like Fabian Schär is okay. Is he going to go off? And Malik Thiaw, their new German international, they've brought in from AC Milan, played against Liverpool in pre-season. Oh, Gravenberch didn't get it away. Ramsey into the box, good defending by Kanate as he tried to rip the early ball in. Casual clearance by Gravenberch, but we got away with it. Now good play by Burn, who holds off Mo Salah, turns him. Livramento at right back on the near side. Down the line, nearly given away. Guimaraes, great tackle by Chiesa. He was caught by Guimaraes, Liverpool free kick. Good by Chiesa, that.
Yeah, just got a little touch on it, didn't he? So Solskjaer doesn't really want to go off. His manager didn't seem to want him to go off, but he's going.
And the new signing, the German Malik Thior, is on. Fabian Schär got that late equaliser in the 3-3 here last year, near the end. But Liverpool leading 2-1. Not game management now, Ronnie Whelan. Bradley at right back.
I don't think it's been the game management that has been good at all in the second half.
No. Szoboszlai now in midfield. Salah lays it back to Gravenberch in his own half. Now back to Van Dijk. Good ball, bit of space for Kerkez in front of the dugouts on the left side. Kerkez just going back to Van Dijk. Shot pass to Szoboszlai. Gravenberch, Liverpool keep possession again. Rolls it square to Konate. That's a good ball by Ibu. Took out a couple of players. Szoboszlai charging forward, full of energy down that right-hand side. But Ramsey getting back. Here's a first touch for Conor Bradley, who's changed his squad number from 84 to number 12. Incidentally, a quiz question for you. What's the difference? What's Conor Bradley got in common with Ronnie Whelan, my co-commentator? I won't say it just yet. I'll let you have a think.
I'm trying to
do you know it?
No, I'm trying to do co-commentary. Let me think about this game.
I'll tell you the answer now.
Tell me after the game.
Yeah. Bradley going backwards, turning away, back to Alisson again. It was your last squad number at Liverpool, number 12.
Oh God.
Mark Wright pitched your number 5.
I think it was given away by someone else.
Yeah. Newcastle go forward, but tracking back Livramento. Gakpo trying to put him under on the near side. Ricochets out of play for a Newcastle throw.
No, I'll push people up and get them blocked in up here. Get them high up. There's Chiesa's little tackle. Guimaraes just flicks his foot underneath him, doesn't he? And then it's not, I didn't do anything wrong. Both a little high, wouldn't he?
Yeah, they were. Full of emotion, Guimaraes.
I'd rather watch the match than someone shouting, screaming in emotion. The match is going on and they don't come back to it.
The director puts the picture. Replay monitor, which we have. Van Dijk at the back for Liverpool. Rolling it across to Konate. Back to Alisson as Osula is chasing. Alisson, big kick down the middle. Oh, Salah up a mistake. Chiesa now for Liverpool. Edge of the area, it's good tackle by Burn. Chiesa's angry because he wanted to run with it and release Salah.
You've got to say, what you said, it's a great tackle by Bourne. Chiesa couldn't get away.
Guimaraes turning Curtis Jones. Dangerous. Now Alanga. Bit of space opens up. Ramsey with the fresh legs off the bench, running at Liverpool. Hall from the left, whips in the cross over Virgil's head. He lets it go. Is that gone out for a throw-in right by the left side corner flag?
Throw in high up, and these will push everybody forward now. Newcastle, they'll try and block Liverpool in here.
Dangerous that one.
There's Kerkez, he's got to be careful.
Because the referee will penalise him if he takes his time over this throw. Short yeah. Arna's telling him, said, get on with it.
Just throw it down the
line. Throw it down the line. Newcastle clear. Header away by Cody Gakpo. Burn there before Chiesa. Header on by Kerkez. Chiesa trying to get the better of Burn. And Thior. More loose ball. Szoboszlai pushing Ramsey back. Malik Thior. A good turn on home debut. Livramento with a back pass. Mo Salah lurking. Pope will launch it clear. Virgil van Dijk with a powerful header back in the Newcastle half. Header back by Livramento. There's too much space opening up in centre midfield at the moment. Newcastle on it with Osula. Good tackle by Gakpo. Curtis Jones fouled by Osula. Did well, Curtis, there, you know.
Yeah, he did.
Very well. Free kick, Liverpool.
Slows it down.
5 minutes to go, Ronnie.
Okay, slows it down, Curtis, really, really well. But when it's dropping out of the air and there's 4 Liverpool players and just leaving it to a Newcastle player.
Now Konate just outside the penalty area for Liverpool here, leading 2-1 against the 10 men of Newcastle. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, back to Conor Bradley. Gravenberch back to Konate, inside his own penalty area to Alisson. Van Dijk, back to Alisson again. Taking his time. Gravenberch. I get really nervous when we do this, but we've done that quite nicely, to be fair, that time. Bradley now running forward, acres of space in the Newcastle half. Plenty of red shirts in this attack. Salah in the box. Back to Bradley. He's turned into trouble, turned into Guimaraes. Connor. Maybe foul him, Connor. Conor Bradley does and gets a yellow card.
He's played the wrong ball.
You listen to me.
He's played. We are playing so many. It's early on in the season, and I get all this. They keep telling me it's early on in the season. We're playing the wrong ball so many times. Different players. Ekitike had one earlier when we're breaking. Conor Bradley has one there when we're breaking.
In the box.
Curtis Jones had made a great run in through the middle of the pitch. Bradley just had to roll it into him. Come on, it's not rocket science. Give it to him.
And he didn't realise Guimaraes was on him so quickly, did he? Got 4 minutes to go. There will be stoppage time. So we have had some stoppages for injuries in this second half.
This I don't like.
Newcastle
whatsoever.
going long. We're trying to play offside. It's long to Burn, who joins the attack. And Osula's in and scores.
How can you?
2-2.
How can you defend a free kick like that by staying so far up the pitch, and you know that they're going to launch a huge ball and try and win headers and get the breaks? Liverpool have got to defend on the edge of the box, let them hit it, and we'll head it away.
So it's a late equaliser coming right from a set play. Defending again has not been great from us.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous, but a starting point of where they all were is ridiculous.
With 10 men as well. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. It's just a long ball by Pope. They launch Burn. Burn beats Konate in the air, flicks it on, and Osula is in, slotting it past Alisson. And the young Danish forward who's come on has rescued something for Newcastle right at the end here. 2-2. Oh, it hits Konate. Konate ducks. Ronnie looking at it. He ducks and it hits his back.
Liverpool have only got themselves to blame for this, because it's been to go 2 up and then they're in 10 men and we then just go completely.
Does Konate have to do better there?
No, the whole team has to do better. The manager has to do better. How you can start in that position when it's a big long ball with 5 minutes to go, you're 2-1 up, and you decide to go so high. This is the same free kick, but look where everybody's gone. They've gone on the edge of the box now.
Well, Arne Slot wants to bring Rio Engamoa on, the 16-year-old, for the final stages. But we've got to defend again here. Arne Slot must be concerned at the defence so far. We've conceded 2 goals in both Premier League games so far. And against Palace, that's 3 games in succession if you include the Palace game. We've conceded 2 goals in every single one of the games. They launch it long again towards Burn. Good take by Alisson.
Now you see the whole
2-2.
difference there. They launched it long before, but we were nearly on the halfway line.
You know what's frustrating as well? You made the point. We had that counter-attack with Bradley before. We made a right mess of it, didn't we? Now, it nearly fell for Salah, that long ball in the box, and Hall got it clear. Just. Szoboszlai went for the ball, missed it. Guimaraes plays it long. Elanga, who's electric down that right wing, has kept it in play. He's one-on-one with Kerkez. Elanga's into the area, Kerkez blocks. Newcastle are just playing for corners and set plays with Dan Burn in there. The ground is electric. We've got to be careful here not to throw this game away.
We threw it away already. From an easy starting point, we should have controlled the game. 2-0 up straight into the second half.
Could have some game management there. Arne will know. Early in the season, but defending from us is not great. Don't like saying that, but it's what's happening at the moment, isn't it?
It's right. You're not going to stay here and watch a game and then try and change what's going on the pitch.
Virgil van Dijk and Alisson are screaming at each other in that box, trying to get the teammates. We're into stoppage time. We haven't heard how much stoppage time is going to be played. Maybe Ollie might be able to tell us shortly how long is going to get played here. We're into stoppage time at St James's Park. 11 minutes, Ronnie Whelan. Wow. We thought they'd be long. In comes the corner. Van Dijk clears it away. Well, there's 11 minutes to go. I'd put young Rio on now, wouldn't you?
I don't
Fresh
know
legs.
what. Yeah, fresh legs, okay, but if you're getting mistakes all over the park from everybody.
We're just delaying the substitution at the moment. Rio Ngamoa and Harvey Elliott are getting ready to come on. There's 11 minutes still to play. And it's 2-2 at St James's. Long throw into the box from Livramento from the right. Van Dijk gets it clear. Kerkez clears it under pressure from Alanga. You wouldn't think Newcastle had 10 men here.
No, you're not at all. All through the second half, you wouldn't think they've had 10 men.
We had. We dropped our standards a little bit in the second half, and I'm afraid, folks, we've only got ourselves to blame with what's happened.
Too many mistakes, just too many wrong decisions on the pitch.
Two really bad goals to give away there. That last one. Another long throw comes in from the right. Burn with the flick on! And Alisson with a vital punch clear. Meanwhile, Salah can't get a touch on the far side. Murphy to Guimaraes. Ball. Newcastle looking dangerous here. And they win another corner. The fans are going absolutely crazy here in this ground.
There's a whole turnaround the way the game's gone, the way Liverpool have gone. And Liverpool have aided in all this changing of the way the fans are.
We're struggling a bit to deal with this, aren't we?
We're struggling all second half after we scored a goal.
Yeah, Arne Slot breathes a deep sigh of relief for something on the bench, but it will be a Newcastle United corner from that far side. Liverpool surrendering a 2-goal lead to 2-2. Alanga with a corner from that left side. Whipped in near post. Good header away by Chiesa. Newcastle win it back. Miley with a shot. Good block by Conor Bradley. Launched back into the box. It's Wimbledon, Route 1 football list, the team that Ronnie Whelan used to play against for Liverpool. That's what's happening here.
It is, and we can't handle it. So what did Newcastle do? They put it back in there. Big men are all in there.
You've got to fight in midfield, haven't you? Bit of space again. And a mistake. A wild clearance that goes completely out of play for a Liverpool throw. Will Arne Slot get Ngamoa and Elliott on now?
I don't know if he'll risk it.
No, he seems to be unsure. He played 3 of the 11 so far. 2-2. I think they've sat down again, to be honest. It's always going to be a difficult one to come to tonight. We knew that straight away at the start of the game. But to go 2-0 up, especially against 10 men, we've got to stop conceding goals. Vulnerability at the back. And it's a collective. It's not because we've got the best goalkeeper in Ali and the best defender in Van Dijk. It's a collective responsibility.
There's more trouble.
Not just the two of them, is it, Ronnie?
No, you just can't say two people. It's all over the place.
Yeah. Mistake. Livramento down the right with a low ball in, and Kerkez clears it away. What's happened to us, Ronnie? Why are we under the cosh like this against 10 men? What do you think has happened to us? We're all over the place.
Yeah, because of the silly mistakes, the bad passing that we're doing, and then nobody wants it then. Oh, hang on, I don't really want the ball now.
There's still about 7 minutes to go in this, you know. 2-2.
Probably about 7 or 8 corners left as well, the way these are going.
Newcastle is launching all these set plays in. Alanga, another corner for Newcastle from the right-hand side. Referee is having a stern word with Bradley and Gakpo.
They're pushing Bournemouth. They're just all...
are coming together with Dan Burn.
They just keep pushing.
They do. And Dan Burn's pushing them two back as well. And he makes the run. Good header by Virgil van Dijk again. Up in the air. Kerkez, good clearance. He's been caught late there by Asula. Liverpool get a free kick.
It's been such a bad performance.
Yeah, Liverpool are going to hand Rio Engamoa a Premier League debut. Harvey Elliott coming on for Curtis Jones. Gakpo going off as well. Engamoa coming on, and he's got 6 minutes with Harvey Elliott to see if Liverpool can get him away with his pace down that left-hand side and see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can get it, if he gets the ball out to him.
But Engamoa, his first appearance in the Premier League for Liverpool, this 16-year-old kid. Elliott in midfield, nearly lost the ball. Good ball by Gravenberch to Conor Bradley down the right. Elliott, good play. Bradley. He's lost the ball again, Conor Bradley. Lewis Miley doubling up, and Burn will just stump it clear. Anywhere will do.
Just losing, we keep getting up to areas where
good areas, and then we're losing the ball. We could actually, we've got the extra man. We should be the team looking to win this game.
But we're losing the ball, or we're flicking little balls into the box.
First touch. Can he have a run at Livramento? He does. It's a clever play. Whipped in the cross as well. He's been caught off the ball there, Engamoa, but the referee didn't give the free kick. But he's back on his feet again, the kid. Now Van Dijk for Liverpool. Turning it back to Konate, 2-2, deep into stoppage time. Salah for Liverpool, kicks it off. Hall, throw in quickly taken. Elliott, backtracking under pressure. Konate. Gives it square to Alisson. 2-2, Liverpool were 2-0 up against the 10 men. Szoboszlai, turning away from Guimaraes. Ibu Konate enters the Newcastle half. Elliott. Now Liverpool have some possession. Over the top to Salah. Headed away. Good defending by Lewis Hall. Got goal side of Salah. Won the ball. Don't foul him, Mo. Still Hall by the corner flag. Salah trying to win that ball. Goal kick.
Nothing to go for us.
Even Mo can't produce a bit of magic there.
No. Since we scored, it doesn't look like anybody's going to produce a bit of magic.
Yeah, Gio Van Bronckhorst with Arne Slot, who's clearly frustrated there on the bench. He will say at the end of this game, if it ends 2-2, he'll say, we've thrown this one away.
Yeah, we have. I'm saying it already. I know we've still got 5 minutes or so, but we've thrown it away. I cannot believe my eyes when I see where they were defending for that free kick. And I'm saying, this is hard to defend.
You called it. You were worried when that free kick was taken by Pope in his own half. Just a launch, Wimbledon style, straight down the middle. Konate didn't get the header to clear it away. No one went with the last man, the substitute Osula.
They're picking up everything.
Oh, Elliott gives it away. Newcastle go long, Osula hauls down Conor Bradley. Looks like 3 minutes on my watch, Ronnie, left of this.
Let's hope we can hang on for it. Let's take a point away and just say I said at the start to you, didn't I, before the game?
You did.
I said at this moment in time I would take a point, but this is points dropped if we don't win this.
And with Arsenal coming to Anfield Sunday, it's concerning that the way we're conceding goals, especially with their set pieces.
It wouldn't matter who's coming to Anfield. It's going to concern me either way.
I know. 2-2. Elliott on the ball. Back to Konate.
They've got 10 men, and we
Elliott's
don't
on the
look as if
outside
we
right.
got a man free anywhere.
Oh, Harvey gives the ball away. A back pass, and Pope's got a clear with Chiesa in there. Newcastle got away with that one. Lovely header by Van Dijk. Kerkez under pressure from Guimaraes. Goes all the way back to Alisson. We've not got long left at all here. 2-2. Out to Kerkez. Newcastle with 10 men from the end of the first half. Anthony Gordon, straight red for the foul on Van Dijk. We went 2-0 up at the start of the second half. Ekitike with a great goal. But then we just sat back and allowed pressure from Newcastle. They got a lot of long throws and free kicks, and they scored from it. Maybe in the last attack. Chiesa, edge of the box. Salah, Szoboszlai, Engamoa! He's won it for Liverpool! Wow! What a moment! Rio Engamoa has surely won it for Liverpool! Right at the end of the game! On his Premier League debut! That's an incredible moment, it really is! 3-2 Liverpool! That's what champions are made of! That's why Arne Slot gives this kid an opportunity in the first team. That is absolutely sensational!
put my hand up. When he was coming on, I thought, no, you're putting a 16-year-old through
What
this.
a goal this is.
What a goal by Salah. What a finish. What a finish by the kid. And there's no hiding it. He's just stepped up to the plate. It's a great ball across. Szoboszlai, great vision, sees Angamo behind him, and he just slots it into the keeper's left-hand corner. Keeper's got no chance of saving this. But what a cool head from a 16-year-old kid under so much pressure, and he's won the game for Liverpool, which they've hardly deserved. But we do it again, we'll say it again, we'll take it. We look out and gone, but they've come back and won it again.
That is magical. It's shades of when Divock Origi scored here in the 3-2. Remember a few years ago, that late header? Mo Salah, I was going to say to you, Ronnie, on a slot, wild celebrations. Mo Salah's having one of the quietest second halves in a Liverpool shirt. But that is why he is one of the best players I've seen in a red shirt. To do a moment like that. It's class, the ball in, the vision to see Ngamoa there, the dummy by Szoboszlai. Yeah. But the finish from that young man. Take a bow, Rio Ngamoa. And it's still going on. There's a fight going on over the far side. Conor Bradley's been pushed to the ground.
Stan Bourne has...
Yeah, and we've still got defending to do. We've gone over the 11 minutes with that goal going in.
Endo's been thrown on as well.
Is Endo coming on for Liverpool?
He's on.
Here? Endo has come on here.
Don't know who for.
I'm not sure who's gone off, but Wataru Endo has come on for Liverpool.
Keeper's coming up.
The keeper's coming up. This is the last kick of the game. 3-2. This has shades of them 4-3s, doesn't it, over the years?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Let's hope it's...
They were at Anfield, weren't they? Nick Pope is forward, and it's going to be a big kick into the penalty area. In it goes. Alisson comes, punches it clear. Corner. Nick Pope will stay forward, the goalkeeper. Didn't even see who went off there when Endo's come on. But never mind, Endo's on. This has got to be the last kick of the game. We've gone over about 13 minutes here. It's another corner. The goalkeeper is forward. The referee, all eyes are on him, Simon Hooper. This is now or never for Newcastle United. Hall from the right, left-footed in-swinger. Ball in, great punch by Alisson. And the referee still plays on. Come on, ref, this has surely got to be it. Guimaraes, under pressure from Ngamoa, turns the ball out of play. Rio Ngamoa defending for Liverpool there. Brilliant. Arne Slot is asked, the fourth official, and Guimaraes is squaring up to Ryan Gravenberch. Alisson, who is Brazilian, is calming his compatriot down.
Well, Gravenberch seems to have said something to him.
Yeah. Guimaraes.
He's not short of a word himself, Guimaraes.
He's already been booked, hasn't he, Ronnie?
He has been booked.
How long are we playing, by the way? 3-2 Liverpool this
I heard the whistle there. I thought it was the end, but it's still not.
It surely can't be long to go here now. It cannot be. There it is! Rio Ngamoa wins the game for Liverpool! What an incredible moment that is in the life of young Rio Ngamoa. Sent on at the age of 16, Premier League debut in stoppage time. A finish that defies his young years. Such maturity, that right-footed curler. An unbelievable game. Liverpool win it 3-2. Gravenberch makes it 1-0. Anthony Gordon straight red for a foul on Van Dijk. Brilliant goal by Ekitike. 3-3 for Liverpool. Start of the second half. Then Bruno Guimaraes from a set piece. 2 set-piece goals for Newcastle. And then the young man Osula came off the bench. It looked like rescuing a point. Newcastle looked like they were going to get a winner, with us really looking jaded. But a moment of magic from Salah, outrageous dummy from Szoboszlai. Rio Ngamoa, a magical moment he will never forget. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3.